the Office of the Public Defender.
Court's going to provisionally appoint the public defender. People can complete applications to see if they qualify. I'm gonna call the interpreter. Interpreter? There. Okay. Mr. or Mrs. Interpreter?
Yes.
Okay, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Have you been sworn?
Not yet, Your Honor.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to translate from English to Spanish, Spanish to English, testimonies given?
I do.
And state your name, Madam Interpreter?
Yes, Your Honor. Dolores I. Manrique, Manrique.
All right. All right. So Johnny Edwin Garcia Rodriguez. I'm sorry, what'd you say? It's the other Spanish. And Virginia Lopez Oba. I think that's her name. Lopez Oba. Go ahead and state your name and date of birth for the record.
¿Pudiera establecer su nombre y su fecha de nacimiento para el acta?
Virginia López Sova.
¿Fecha de nacimiento para el acta?
8 de mayo de 1774.
Virginia Lopez Oba,
Sova.
May the 8th, 1974.
Ma'am, you've been picked up on violating a domestic violence injunction.
Señora, a usted la recogieron porque usted estaba traspasando la inyección que se le hizo para violencia doméstica.
The court finds probable cause.
El juzgado ha encontrado que hay causa probable.
Defendant does not qualify for PTR.
Y la acusada no es calificable para PTA.
PTR, why does she qualify? It looks like she was on
She's on,
probation.
per the admin order, she's on county probation. She does not qualify for pretrial release.
Bond will be set at $500.
Se está estableciendo su fianza en $500.
Conditions, no return, no contact with the victim.
Aparte de eso, no debe regresar ni tampoco debe de realizar ningún tipo de contacto con la víctima.
And, court's going to take no action on the VOP.
El juzgado no va a tomar ningún tipo de acción en
Let's
la
see if she violated.
violación del mandato
Hold on.
judicial.
Let's see if she's even been charged with violating.
She's not at this time, Your Honor. There's no other
Oh,
case.
okay, never mind. Thank you.
Gracias.
¿Puedo
All right, let's
agregar
check to
algo?
see
Is there anything else
anybody
that I can
else?
assist you, Your Honor?
Si puedo agregar algo.
May I add something?
Que yo estoy en...
Just let her know she cannot make any incriminating statements. Everything she's saying is being recorded.
No puede usted realizar ningún tipo de declaración que sea incriminatoria para usted porque todo lo que usted está diciendo, todo lo que declare está siendo grabado.
No, lo que pasa es que la de probatoria me dijo que había que bajar a no steal y yo podía vivir en la casa porque mi hermana me fue a buscar con el amigo, yo estaba en un hotel viviendo y ella me fue a buscar con el amigo y me llevaron a la casa porque el dinero mío se me acabó y ellos se quedaron un día conmigo completo, mi hermana y el hijo de mi hermana. O sea,
Un momento. Madam Interpreter, please interpret.
Yes, it's just that I was told by probation that I was able to go back to the house. I was staying in the hotel, but I ran out of money. And the sister and the friend came over to pick me up, and they took me to the house.
Or you can discuss that with your trial judge. As far as we check, the injunction was still active. And so I believe, do you still have personal property in the house?
Eso es algo que usted va a tener que conversar cuando tenga que estar frente al juez. Porque en ese momento todavía el mandato judicial de la orden por la violencia doméstica estaba activo. Así que tiene usted, me parece, todavía propiedad.
Your Honor, can she just get a one-time return with law enforcement just to get the rest of her belongings?
What I was trying to say. Yes, she can return one time with law enforcement.
Si usted puede regresar una vez más con el acompañamiento de las fuerzas del orden por sus cosas.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Are there any other people who might need the services of the interpreter? I don't think so, but I wanted to ask before I let her go. Okay. Thank you, Madam Interpreter. We've completed our need for interpretation services today.
You're very welcome, Your Honor. Thank you for your services. Have a wonderful rest of your day and weekend. Take care. Bye for now.
Hello.
Go ahead and state your name and date of birth for the record, sir.
My name is Anthony Harris, 91362.
Right. Sir, you were,
I was telling
sir, you've been charged with trespassing, occupied structure or conveyance. Court finds probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR, I believe due to other legal constraints. Am I correct, PTR?
Yes, he has multiple incompetent to proceed cases.
Defense will be asking for him to be RR'd because he's adjudicated incompetent in his other open cases, and he's on conditional release in those other cases.
State?
Chair has no objection.
Okay. Defendant will be RR.
You'll be released on your own recognizance.
right now.
Yes.
I wonder if I can give some conditions, don't return. It
Eugene,
don't matter, he's been there like 5 times.
Miss Eugene.
Miss Jean, you my attorney? Attorney, where are you?
Keep going.
Like he was a little fed up a minute ago. Go ahead and state your name and date of birth for the record.
My date of birth?
Your name,
Me?
your name.
Jeannie Mae Roger.
Okay, and go ahead and state your date of birth.
12/5/51.
Ma'am, so you've been charged with trespassing, structure or conveyance?
What? I didn't understand that one.
So it's trespassing?
I wasn't trespassing.
Okay.
I
Court
was
finds probable
simply-
cause.
Wait, just wait.
Court finds probable cause.
I plead not guilty.
Defendant does not qualify for PTR, I believe because they're unable to verify community ties.
In regards to bond, Your Honor, defense will be asking for her to be RR'd as well because she's adjudicated incompetent in her other cases as well, and she's on conditional release.
Any objection, state?
No, Your Honor, no objection.
Defendant will be RR. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead and state your name and date of birth for the record, sir.
Jonathan Sutton, 01/29/2001. Jonathan Sutton, 01/29/2001.
Oh, you were picked up on an out-of-county warrant, for failure to appear. Bond has been set at $500. If you can pay it, great. If not, then we'll let them know that you are ready for pickup. All right. Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Go ahead and state your name and date of birth for the record.
Donald Cobb. Donald Cobb, 02/02, 1973.
What's his name?
Donald Cobb.
Okay. All right. We're gonna go back and do that after this.
Okay.
All right. Sir, you've been picked up on a DUI influence of drug and alcohol. Court finds probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR. I did not see why PTR.
Unable to verify community ties. It was just updated. He was interviewed, but we were not able to verify any information.
Court will set the bond is at $500. No drugs, alcohol, or driving while intoxicated, Mr. Cobb. All right, thank you. We're gonna go back to Amy James. Court will note that Ms. James refused to appear, correct?
Yes, defense has no objection to waiving her appearance.
Okay. She was picked up on a failure to appear. There was a bond set at $1,000. Defendant does not qualify for PTR. Is it Community Ties Counsel?
We don't
Sorry, I
qualify.
know you're not counsel.
We don't qualify failure to appear warrants, Your Honor.
Okay,
That charge doesn't qualify.
okay. Bond is $1,000. And if she can pay it, great. If she can't, then we'll, actually, this is Orange County. Yeah. That's it. Go ahead and state your name and date of birth for the record.
Tyrone DuPont Jr., 09/25/1996.
Mr. DuPont, you were picked up, on trespass on a property after warning. The court finds probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR, I believe due to other legal constraints.
In regards to bond, Your Honor, this client as well, he's been adjudicated incompetent in his other open cases. We're asking for him to be released ROR.
Any objection, state?
No, Your Honor.
So ordered. Court's gonna take no action on the prior.
Jonathan Simmons refused, Your Honor.
We're gonna go ahead and have it.
In regards to his case, we can waive his appearance, Your Honor.
All right. Defendant was picked up on an out-of-county warrant. Bond is set at $2,000. He can pay or be picked up. And I think that's it. All right. Thank you. Court will acknowledge that defendant had refused in the prior case.
Okay, that's fine, okay.
Go ahead and state your name and date of birth for the record.
Richie Vasquez, July 2nd, 91.
All right, Mr. Vasquez, you were picked up on burglary of a structure, criminal mischief, and false 911 calls. Court finds probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR, I believe due to other legal constraints and unable to verify community ties. Bond for the first count will be $5,000. For the second count, $1,000. For the third count, $500. Conditions, no return, no drugs, no weapons, no firearms. All right.
Your Honor, one moment, please. He has a question. I apologize.
Let me make sure I didn't miss it. Oh, no. No, there's nobody, there'll be no contact.
Your Honor, I understand that you just said a bond in regards to this case, but he would like to ask, will you consider RRing him in regards to this case? His last conviction was not until 2009, and yeah, that's all I have, Your Honor.
State?
The state would object, Your Honor. Based off the charges and his history, the state believes that the bonds are appropriate as set and would ask that they not be changed.
Or do you have any objection reducing the bond if RR would not be guaranteed, Your Honor?
State?
State has the same position.
Court will reduce the first, let me see, hold on, let me just look at it one time. I don't know if I want to reduce.
You can't. Everything's being recorded, so you can't.
Court will reduce the burglary to $1,500. The rest will remain as stated.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, actually, that was an error anyway. I think the original bond I gave you was $5,000? Yeah, that was an error, that's not what it is. It was $3,500, but the court is gonna reduce to $1,500, because that's what I just said.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead and state your name and date of birth for the record, sir.
Juleno Nicholas, 5/6/1966.
Sir, you were picked up on a violation for probation. There's been a bond set for $1,000. I think that's it. I don't believe I need to say whether he qualifies for PTR. Thank you, sir. Go ahead and state your name and date of birth for the record, sir.
Brandon Carr, August 14th, 1990.
Sir, you were picked up on aggravated battery on a pregnant person, obstructing justice, hindering communication with law enforcement. Court finds probable cause. PTR court could not determine if the defendant qualifies for PTR.
The charges do not qualify per the administrative order.
All right. Defendant does not qualify. Bond on the first count is $3,500. Bond on the second count is $250. No return, no contact. He may return one time with law enforcement to retrieve personal effects. Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, sir. State your name and date of birth for the record.
Mark Opel, 07/07/1966.
Sir, you were picked up on, what did I do? You're violating no contact order. Violating a no contact order. Court finds probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR, believed for prior legal constraints. Looks like he might have been out on PTR. PTR, was he out on PTR already?
Yes, he's out on pretrial release in 23 CF 5997AL.
Your Honor, there's also a victim here. I didn't know if you saw.
She would like to speak.
Yes. May I inquire?
You may.
Good morning, or good afternoon. Can you state your name for the record?
Amy Louise Abigail Jago Ford.
And how do you know Mr. Gopal?
He's my husband.
And are you seeking to have contact with him today?
No.
Are you afraid of him?
Yes.
Do you live with him?
No.
And has anything ever happened like this before?
Yes.
Okay. No further questions from the state.
Defense?
No further questions at this time, Your Honor.
Okay, so they don't live together, so I'm gonna say no return to wherever victim lives.
The defense will only ask that you take no action on the auto bond case.
State?
The state would be requesting that that case be revoked and he be held at none until he sees the trial judge. This current contempt is based off of that initial arrest, and that's from, I believe, May 7th. So these incidences are escalating, and we would like for him to have to see the trial judge to determine any conditions of release on that open case.
All right, so court's going to set bond in a violation of the injunction at $1,500. However, court's going to revoke the bond in a prior case and no bond.
And he has a second case, Your Honor? He has two
Conditions,
cases?
no return, no contact. I don't believe they live together, so he shouldn't have to retrieve any personal belongings, but no return to wherever victim is, if that's where it occurred.
And Your Honor, there's two cases.
I'm sorry.
He has a second case?
Let me see it. I thought I was just did this. Hold on. Yep. Sir, also you were picked up on obstructing and tampering, withholding testimony. Court's gonna find probable cause. Obviously, defendant already does not qualify for PTR. Court's gonna set bond at $500. All right, I think that's it. Go ahead and state your name and date of birth for the record.
My name is Ellington John, 10/28/83.
Mr. John, you're charged with battery on a person of 65 years age or older. Court finds probable cause. Defendant does qualify for PTR. Court will grant the PTR with conditions of no hostile contact. If they live together, I believe they do, it's your father.
It's my father. I have somewhere else to go. I don't
Okay, then no return.
leave right.
So I'm gonna say no return except one time with law enforcement to retrieve your personal belongings. I will say any incidental contact will be non-hostile. There shouldn't be any contact, but,
Understand, ma'am.
So is it no contact?
no, I'm
or-
gonna say no contact. I was trying to account for the fact that they were gonna stay in the same house, but he's indicated they're not, so no contact. But you can return the one time with law enforcement.
So it's no contact, no return, except for one time with law enforcement?
Yes. All right. Go ahead and state your name and date of birth for the record.
Christina Myers, August 25th, 1994.
Ms. Myers, you're picked up on false imprisonment. Court finds probable cause. Defendant does qualify for PTR. Court is going to grant the PTR. Defendant, what is your position about the contact? I believe they live together and share a child. Court is
One moment.
inclined to order no contact.
One moment, please, Your Honor. Your Honor, she has somewhere else to go. You can issue no contact
Okay.
and just to follow whatever DCF put in place.
Okay.
A one-time return.
No contact, one-time return with law enforcement, and I guess in line with whatever DCF ordered as it pertains to the child. Okay, all right, thank you.
Here, this is yours.
Good afternoon, state your name and date of birth for the record.
Terry Blackwell, June 6, 88.
Mr. Blackwell, you were picked up on battery, domestic violence. Court finds probable cause. Defendant does qualify for PTR.
And Your Honor, there's a victim coming in right now.
Okay.
Good. May I inquire?
You may.
Good afternoon. Can you state your name for the record?
Jamie Bloshes.
And what's your relationship to Mr. Blackwell?
He's my husband.
Are you seeking to have contact with him today?
I am.
Are you scared of him?
No.
And has anything like this ever happened before?
Not to this extreme, no. This would be a first time.
But you would feel comfortable with him returning to the home?
Yes.
No further questions from the state?
All right. Defense.
Defense would just be asking for no hostile contact.
So ordered. So defendant does qualify for PTR. Conditions will be no hostile contact. And that's it.
One moment, please, Your Honor. He does have a question. This is yours. Here, this is yours. No problem.
And
You're all
state your,
set. He's going to be released.
okay, thank you.
Sorry.
All right, that was my fault. I should,
Okay.
trying to multitask up here. Go ahead and state your name and date of birth for the record.
Lovely Casamajor, September 14, 1993.
Say your name again.
Lovely Casamajor.
Mr. Castle-Major, you were charged with battery, domestic violence. Court finds probable cause. I see that there's a victim. Defendant does qualify for PTR. Court's gonna grant the PTR. Would he like to make a statement?
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon, sir. What's your name?
Manuel Zephyr.
And just a little closer to the mic, what's your relationship to Miss Casamajor?
She my wife.
Are you seeking to have contact with her?
Yes.
Are you scared of her?
No.
And are you comfortable with her returning home?
Yes.
No further questions from the state.
All right. Defense, I'm sure you're asking for non-hostile contact?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so ordered. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
You'll be released today without having to post a bond.
Go ahead and state your name and date of birth for the record.
James Ellis, 52968.
Mr. Ellis, you were charged with violating a domestic violence injunction.
Yes, ma'am.
Court finds probable cause. Defendant does qualify for PTR. Court's gonna grant the PTR. See the victim.
Yes, Your Honor. Will you please state your name in relationship to Mr. Ellis?
Elizabeth Ellis, and that's my husband, James Ellis.
Are you seeking to have contact with him?
Yes.
And are you afraid of him?
No.
No further questions from the state. I do have a signed voluntary dismissal. I already explained that this is Hernando County. He's going to be released on PTR, so there won't be any issue with bond or release today.
Okay.
Defense non-hostile, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So ordered.
One moment, please, Your Honor. He does have a question.
So he does have an injunction with no contact, Your Honor, so
I didn't hear you.
there is an active injunction that's no contact between him and the victim. So are you still doing no hostile?
No, I guess we're doing,
Well, Your Honor, I
think it's-
have the victim here is the victim listed on the injunction. Her attorney filed a notice of dismissal in Hernando County on the 25th. I have that notice here, and I have the clerk's site printout. So I'm afraid that if they get the injunction dismissed and then he has no contact through Orange County, he's just going to end up back in the same situation.
okay.
Would you
What's
like
your-
to see these?
I will. You may. Basically, you're just saying no condition. Right.
So,
Thank you. All right,
So it's no hostile contact then, Your Honor?
I'm gonna take off the condition.
No conditions whatsoever with it?
Is that what you're
PTR?
requesting, state?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, no conditions. That's it. Ooh, wait. Yeah, yes, just PTR. Look. Uh-oh. Go ahead and state your name and date of birth for the record, ma'am.
Judy Gomez, June 20.
Pull that mic down so we can actually hear her.
Judy Gomez, 6/21/61.
Ma'am, you were picked up on battery. The court finds probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR.
Her fingerprints have cleared now, Your Honor, so she would qualify for PTR.
Oh, now she would?
Yes, her fingerprints have cleared.
As the defendant does qualify for PTR, court's gonna grant the PTR. with the conditions of no hostile contact and, well,
Situation.
state any thoughts about no hostile contact or no return?
Based off the
I
statement.
believe she owns the house.
Yes, Your Honor. Based off the statements in the report, the state's, I have to ask for no contact, and then it's the state's position that if she would like them removed from her home, that's a civil issue.
Defense?
Defense will be asking for no hostile contact and that she would be able to return to her home because they are living in her home, based on the police report, Your Honor.
Court's gonna grant the no hostile contact. However, I'm gonna admonish the defendant, if you want them out of the home, you need to file the appropriate civil action as soon as possible. All right, thank you.
You'll be released pre-trial release.
I'm sorry.
Sorry. So she's able to return to the home, Your Honor, correct?
She is, it'll be no hostile contact.
God bless you. Thank you. So what happens when my son, he has to leave?
Hold on, one more, Your Honor.
If you see me miss something, feel free. I think I might have missed some people who want to speak. She's talking to the door, a few people. Or that guy at least has questions, you see him? Nobody. He was up here already, though. I guess he wanna know what's going on with his wife.
You qualify for PTR. You don't have to post a monetary.
Go ahead and state your name and date of birth for the record, sir.
Kevin Gonzalez, May 30th, 1998. Your Honor.
Sir, you were picked up on battery.
Yes, ma'am.
It's the E-duty phone. Off the record.
While she's handling that, so it's either you choose to pay a monetary bond, or you
Judge
release PTR without paying. You just have to. Which I release it by every so often.
I'm not.
Are you going back to Massachusetts after this? As long. So do you want a monetary bond?
We're in open court.
Just know like if.
So I'll try to get to it, I'll try to check the break in between.
I can ask to see will PTR release have no, do you leave them to go back to Massachusetts? Okay.
Defendant disqualified. Court finds probable cause about the battery. Defendant does qualify for PTR. Court's gonna grant the PTR with the condition of no contact and no return except one time with law enforcement.
Your Honor, does PTR has any objection to him going back to Massachusetts where he resides and works?
It could just be put on the order that he can return to Massachusetts, Your Honor.
So ordered.
So you can go back. You'll be released and you can go back to Massachusetts. Yes. Just keep in touch with PTR. Mhm.
And state your name and date of birth for the record.
Brittany Hall, 10/12/94.
Hall, you were charged with battery, domestic violence. Court finds probable cause. Defendant does qualify for PTR. Court's gonna grant the PTR with the conditions of no contact.
Your Honor, there is a victim in the booth.
What's your name?
Leon Ferguson,
And what's your relationship to Ms. Hall?
a child's mother.
Are you gotta talk, I know you're tall, I'm sorry.
Mother.
Are you seeking contact with Ms. Hall?
Yes, please.
And do you have any concerns with her returning home?
No, not at the moment.
Are you afraid of her?
No.
And no further questions, thank you.
Defense will just be asking for no hostile contact. Be able to release pre-trial.
Okay.
PTR, she's gonna be released.
Come on, baby. It's okay. Come on.
Oh.
You just steal the stuff off. Quick. Hello, man. Come on. We're gonna go see her. Come on.
And state your name and date of birth for the record.
Christina Marie Hernandez, 7976.
Ms. Hernandez. You were charged with battery domestic violence. Court finds probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR. We'll set a bond at $500. Defense, what's your position on the contact?
One moment, please, Your Honor.
State, what's your position while she speaks?
The state will request no contact since the victim's not here.
Your Honor, we're fine with no contact, just one-time return with law enforcement so she can get her belongings.
So ordered. Thank you. We're gonna take a pause before you bring in the next person so I can do this warrant.
Until it gets changed in front of the judge that you're in front of. It's yours. We're gonna bond out.
Rebecca Orden, 5/12/1994.
Order, you've been picked up on battery domestic violence. Court finds probable cause. Defendant does qualify for PTR. Court's gonna grant the PTR. With the conditions of no alcohol. And no return.
Are you ordering the contact?
Can she get a one-time return with law enforcement officers, Your Honor?
Of course.
You'll be able to be released pre-trial release. She's not gonna RR you.
State your name and date of birth for the record.
Andres Acevedo,
And your date of birth.
May 20th, 1987.
Sir, you've been picked up on possession of cocaine and possession of drug paraphernalia. Court finds probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR.
He's out on bond, or out on ROR in 2 cases, Your Honor. He doesn't qualify for the admin order.
Court's gonna set bond in this case for the first charge, $1,000, and for the second charge, $500, with the conditions no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or firearms. However,
Defense will ask that you take no action in regards to his out-on-bond cases, Your Honor.
why, counsel?
The 2023 CF 4876 case number has not been filed on. No information has been taken, it hasn't been filed on, the 2023 CF 4876. And for the possession of fentanyl case, we're just asking that you not revoke bond so that that case can be heard in front of the judge that the case is in front of, and that judge to make that determination.
Yes, Your Honor. The 2023 case was just picked up on March 15th. So it's also similar charges. The state has no objection to you taking no action. They're very similar, but it is clear that Mr. Acevedo Vega has a drug problem, and that's not going to change anything.
So order, no action on Good afternoon, sir. Go ahead and state your name and date of birth for the record.
Peter Hahn, age 1779.
Sir, you were picked up on possession of methamphetamine with intent to distribute and possession of drug paraphernalia. Court's gonna find probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR due to prior legal constraints. Am I correct, PTR?
Yes, he's on state probation, Your Honor.
Court's gonna set bond in this case at $15,000 for the first charge, $100 for the second charge. No drugs, no weapons, no firearms. Defendant was already out. I believe there's a violation of probation on the second. It's out on bond.
No,
Defendant's social-
it's a new VOP, Your Honor.
I believe it's in Lake County.
It's a new violation of probation. He's in on that case as well. It's a Lake County violation of probation.
On the VOP, it's a different case, I believe, right? Case number-
Yeah, yes, it's a Lake County case.
No bond.
What were those amounts?
That's what I was looking.
It was 15,000 and 100, she said, on the Orange County, and then the Lake County VOP is none.
Thank you.
Neil, go ahead and state your name and date of birth for the record, sir.
Divorce, Anchor 9574.
Last name is Ankrum.
Yes.
Mr. Ankrum, you were picked up on evidence of destroying evidence, I'm sorry, possession of cocaine and resisting the officer without violence. Court's gonna find probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR due to prior legal constraints. Court's gonna set bond, first charge of $150. The second one's gonna be $1,000, and the third's gonna be $100.
And
Go ahead.
defense will ask that you take no action in regards to his out on bond arson case. He does have trial set for June 5th, and just to allow him to be out on release, if he's able to post a bond so he can handle that case, Your Honor, in front of the judge.
No objection.
So ordered. No drugs, no weapons, no firearms. Good afternoon, sir. State your name and date of birth for the record.
Isaiah Bottom, 11/06/2001.
And can we waive the reading of the charges, please, Your Honor?
Yes, did Blyden Bond out? What was the name? Jamar Jason Creed Blyden.
Do you have their booking number, Your Honor?
23013679.
They bonded.
Do you understand the charges that you've been charged with, sir? Counsel has waived the readings. The court won't read it. Court does find probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR.
Those charges do not qualify per the admin order.
Court's gonna set bond at $1,000. The conditions of no contact with the victim, no return to the scene, and no contact with any victims of the like. Anything from state or defense?
I believe there's two
Yeah,
cases.
there's two cases, Your Honor. Which was that first bond on? Which case number?
That was on the one ending in 6960.
Okay.
Counsel, you're also waiving the reading of these charges in the second case as well?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so, defendant again does not qualify for TR. Court finds probable cause. Bond will be $500. No return, no contact. Good afternoon, sir. State your name and date of birth for the record.
Brown 10/8/80 now.
I can't hear you, I'm sorry.
Super Brown 10/08/1980.
Sir, you've been charged with fleeing and eluding law enforcement officers with lights and sirens. Court's gonna find probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR.
Is unable to verify any community ties.
Court's gonna set bond at $1,500 with conditions of no driving, the broken tail light. And that's it. Anything, state defense?
Is my car under evidentiary hold because the officers being all they doing is antagonizing me. Like they find reasons to do something to me. It's ongoing. So eventually, I'm gonna just keep filing. I'm gonna just go in the process of filing the complaint because it's what they doing is trying to stage little other people. It's the same officer staging other people to do like certain little tactical hits or whatever. They antagonize me, raise my bun, take me off no bun, put my car on hold, so I gotta go pay a big fine, or they take repossess my stuff. That's all he do. Like the Jenkins, Mr. Lankins, and Mr. McIntyre, they head of Edenville Police, they corrupt. Nobody cares. So I'm gonna just go ahead and file a complaint against them and go take it to somewhere, another level where somebody can get some, cause they like I said, they corrupt. You sit around and try to holler at my mama and write a speeding ticket to the next person. You know what I'm saying? Like illiteracy. You one way this way, but next way you don't do me like that. Be just all the way. And like I say, some of that when I state my opinion towards them and how I feel, it's like they don't like it and they try to do a little tag, like write me a stop sign ticket. I rolled the stop sign. You get all the 100 cars out there, you ain't gotta worry about that.
You can definitely write your complaint. That's your right to do if you want to, and you can explain it to the trial judge when he hears your case.
Your Honor, I have a question in regards to one of the conditions. You said no driving with a broken tail light.
Because I think I saw that. I want to make sure I'm not.
It just nipped on the side. It's not even broken.
Never mind.
Can we remove that? Okay, thank you.
It said it was inoperable.
Yeah.
Okay. No conditions, so just $1,500 bond. Just a second.
But is my car on hold?
Say it again.
Is it still on hold?
They might keep your car until the case is done. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Chandler Bond.
Yes, defense has no objection to waiving her appearance. However, I do have a PC argument for count one, to leave in the scene of a crash.
She was charged with running the scene of a crash, moving, traffic violation, operating a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license, fraud, impersonating false ID given to a law enforcement officer, and forgery of in possession of a driver's license that's been altered. You had an argument?
Yes, just for the leaving the scene of a crash with property damage, nowhere in the affidavit where I seen where it says that she actually left the scene or went somewhere else. On the affidavit, it states that she was there with the other person who also reported the crash of the gate. I don't see where she left the scene.
State?
The state agrees and has no objection to an ROR in that charge.
So I can find probable cause on the other three. I'm not finding probable cause on that one. However, state if you want 24 hours on that one charge. Okay.
Not
So court's
necessary,
gonna,
thank you, Your Honor.
right? Court's not gonna find probable cause on that one. Defendant. PTR?
She refused pretrial's interview.
And so, the only condition is no driving without a valid driver's license.
And the bonds are?
I'm sorry. I thought I said them. I was crossing them out. On charge, the second charge is $500. On the third charge, $500, and $1,000 on the last charge.
And Your Honor, can we just have an ROR on count one so that she can be cleared?
Yes, RR in regards to count one.
So ordered.
Yeah, they'll keep her a whole other day if we forget that.
Good afternoon. State your name and date of birth for the record.
Nicole Doreen Daniels, 8/31/79.
Please, I'll say. only did count one.
Yes, for RR.
And then the rest is just regular bond. I'm sorry, ma'am, go ahead and state your name and date of birth again.
Nicole Doreen Daniels, 8/31/79.
Ma'am, you were charged, picked up on possession of cocaine. Court finds probable cause. PTR.
She was unable to be interviewed.
Can I be released on my own?
They were unable to interview.
Can I be released on my own cognizance till court date?
Sorry, what?
May I be released on my own recognizance till court date?
State.
Yes, Your Honor, Ms. Daniels has a history of 4 failures to appear, last one being in 2022. We'll leave it at the court's discretion, but we would ask that some bond be given so that we can ensure her return.
Defense will ask for RR because her last failure to appear it was a year ago, it wasn't recent. And her last conviction was a year ago, that wasn't recent as well. So if you want RR, her, we'll ask for a lower bond, Your Honor.
Okay, court will lower the bond.
I don't have anybody to pay up on.
$250.
On each
That,
count?
There's 2 cases, Your Honor. Is that on the trespass case?
That's on so in case number, court find probable cause in that too. So just attach the same. Court, the bond in the trespass case ending in 3654 will be $250. And the bond in the possession of cocaine case will be $250 as well. Any objection to that state?
No, Your Honor.
No drugs, weapons, firearms. And no return on the trespass. Good afternoon, sir. State your name and date of birth for the record.
Christopher Davis, 7.
I can't hear anything. Is it on? Is the mic on?
Hello. Christopher Davis, 7268.
Can you say it again?
Christopher Davis.
At a normal volume.
Christopher Davis, 7268.
Mr. Davis, you were picked up on, counsel, are you waiving the reading of these charges?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, on child abuse, court finds probable, well, let me ask state, I have a question. This is charged as 827, sorry, Florida statute 827.03, which is aggravated. But it's listed as child abuse, and I don't see anything in the facts that support it being aggravated. I think either something's missing in the facts, or it should have been 827.04.
Yes, Your Honor, if you don't find probable cause for the aggravated section, we would just ask that you find probable cause for the child abuse statute as it's written without the aggravation and set bond accordingly.
Defense?
No objection to just not the aggravated portion on the child abuse, Your Honor.
Court finds probable cause on child abuse without the aggravating factor. Defendant's not qualified for PTR.
The charge does not qualify for the admin order.
Court will set bond at $1,000. There'll be no contact with the victim. I believe they don't live, defense, do they live together in the same house?
Your Honor, one moment, please. We can continue, Your Honor. Can he just get a one-time return with law enforcement to get his belongings?
Of course. So ordered. Yeah.
What's the bond amount?
1,000. Here. She said 1,000.
And state your name and date of birth for the record.
Jamal Donovan Jr., June 28, 2004.
Sir, you were picked up on carrying a concealed firearm. Another charge of carrying a concealed firearm. And your third charge, grand theft in the third degree. Court finds probable cause. Defendant does qualify for PTR. Ironically. Court's gonna grant the PTR with the conditions of no weapons, no firearms, no drugs.
And Your Honor, he does live out of state. Could we just have it on the order that he can return to Georgia?
He does have no criminal history, Your Honor, in-state or out-of-state.
May return to Georgia.
Just keep in contact with the public defender's office, okay? If you don't show up to court, it'll be warrant for your arrest.
Good afternoon, go ahead and state your name for the record.
Nicole Handboy.
Ms. Henboy, you were picked up on battery on a law enforcement officer. Court finds probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR.
Unable to verify community ties.
Court's gonna set bond at $2,500, with the condition of no alcohol, no drugs, no contact with,
So I have to pay $2,500 in order to get out?
Yes, or if you call it, you could pay 10% if you're able to. Which would be $250 if you're able to.
Okay.
Sir, state your name and date of birth for the record.
Jared Harris, 7/20/94.
Sir, you were picked up on burglary of a conveyance and trespass on property after warning.
I do have a PC argument, Your Honor, for the burg of conveyance.
Okay. Gotta make your argument, counsel.
Yes, so in regards to the burglary of a conveyance, in order to be charged with burglary of a conveyance, he has to commit another crime other than trespass or burglary. There's no information affidavit that he committed any other crime other than trespass, your information. And nothing was reported missing out of the vehicle.
This was his mom's, I think.
Sister.
State.
Yes, Your Honor, it's the state's position that the crime therein can be inferred from the burglary, but I understand the defense's position. We would just ask that he be required not to return. I understand that this is family, but he has been trespassed from there.
State, are you requesting 24 hours or are you not?
Yes, the state would request 24 hours.
So the court grant state 24 hours on the first charge. Court's gonna find probable cause on the second charge. Bond's gonna be $100 on that. The restrictions of no return to the scene.
Defense will also ask that you take no action in regards to the trespass case because no information has been filed yet in that case.
State.
Are you able to post the bond? Are you able to post the
I'm
bond?
sorry, let me see the date on it.
Okay.
It was May 21st.
It won't
Yeah,
argue
oh,
because
it's
you
from
have this case.
week, so we would ask that he be revoked on that, since it's been less than a week since that case was.
Was the trespass at the same place?
Yes, Your Honor, I believe so. I'll double checking.
The bond on that case, right?
Yes, Your Honor, and I'm trying to see what that is right now.
It's $500.
It's 500. It is the same victim.
I do ask if you do revoke it, do not set it at none because no information has been filed yet, although it's been a week, Your Honor.
I'm not gonna revoke the bond. This stay away. I do understand that it's family, so it makes it a little bit more difficult. But for now, you need to stay away. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm not revoking it this time. I doubt if you get any more chance.
Yes, ma'am.
Question, Your Honor. So are we reviewing this case again tomorrow because she has 24 hours?
State, you are requesting 24 hours, correct?
Yes, Your Honor, it's the state, the issue I have with the burglary is because he's already been trespassed from the property. I understand that a trespass can't be the crime they're in, but it's the state's position that he's already been trespassed, so it would be a violation of his orders not to return and not to have contact with the victim.
Be true, counsel, but that's not how it's written. It's written as
And I understand that, and that's why I wanted to supplement.
24 hours to the state. All right.
You more likely will come back tomorrow to see what account wants. So you're coming back tomorrow. You can hold this for the meantime.
But you are taking no action on that out on bond, so that hold can be closed. Is that correct, Your Honor?
Afternoon, state your name and date of birth for the record, sir.
My name is Gregory Hill. Date of birth is 06/02/1990.
Sir, you were picked up on possession of methamphetamines and possession of drug paraphernalia. Court's gonna find probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR. It's probably due to prior legal.
Yes, he has an open case.
Court's gonna set bond in the first charge at $1,000 and gonna reduce bond in the second count to $250.
In regards to the auto bond case, defense will be asking that you take no action because no information has been filed yet in the auto bond case, Your Honor.
Conditions on the case I was talking was no drugs, no weapons, no firearms. State, what's your position on the out on bond case?
State has no objection to no action being taken. We would just ask that Mr. Hill get some help.
No order, no action.
You're able to bond out.
Yes, ma'am.
I could order the help.
Me too.
Jeff, please, bonded, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Hogan, H-O-G-A-N, first name J-A-Q-U-E-S, bonded.
Thank you. Good afternoon, state your name and date of birth for the record, ma'am.
My name is Nicole Lester, and my date of birth is 3/29/1983.
State, I have a question for you. So I believe the warrant is written as a larceny petty theft with 2 prior convictions.
Yes, Your Honor.
But the facts say they don't support, at least from what I read, a charge of petty theft. So I don't know if it's something's wrong, like a mix-up, but it talks about her being a habitual traffic offender since 2015. And she provided false names and.
And that's for the petty theft warrant?
Right, but, yes. Do you see it? That's my main question. So she does have a warrant for petty theft, 2 priors.
Yeah.
And she was picked up on that warrant, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, but the affidavit for the new charge, the arrest affidavit says larceny, petty theft, but the facts don't support that. Or am I just looking at it wrong, or am I looking at the wrong sheet?
So there was an active warrant out for the petty theft, and then she's picked up on a separate charge.
Petty theft?
No, I have driving while license suspended.
So on my
False
sheet,
info.
unless I'm looking at the wrong sheet, it doesn't say, it should say a dualist, it just doesn't. So, hold on, let me go to it, maybe.
I mean,
Yeah, she has 2 cases, so I'm assuming this is her old one that's on top?
I'm not sure how your paperwork comes. All I know is I have 2 separate arrests. I have the 23 CF 4597 and then the 6999. And for me, they come in as separate. So it's a separate warrant arrest with a different narrative. And then the moving violation.
So, the reason why this is a date on this is today. As opposed So what I was just speaking to the clerk about was. Let me just go to. Court's gonna find probable cause on the moving traffic violation, driving while license suspended or revoked. Court's gonna find probable cause also on the obstruction of a criminal investigation, providing false information to law enforcement. Defendant does not qualify for PTR.
She has an active warrant out of Seminole County. She does not qualify.
And what warrant is that?
It hasn't been served on her yet, but it's a failure to appear for a petty theft case. She has a hold in the system, but she's not being seen on that today.
Bond in the first case will be $2,500. Bond in the second case will be, it's a second charge, it's $1,000. And that first charge is $2,500. With the condition of no driving without a valid driver's license.
And then what is the bond on the petty theft warrant?
State, this is my concern, so. Maybe it's just mixed up.
I have the warrant from March 10th for the petty theft. You want me to print it?
The April 10th or March 10th?
Oh, it's April, I'm sorry.
So, this facts support that, but this sheet is attached to this charge. This is the. That still doesn't make sense though, because this is, you see what you have, state.
Yes, Your Honor.
What?
I didn't pull it up from the clerk's site, but this is the warrant that they served on her for the
Just doesn't have it, but there's.
petty theft.
So, no, it's since April, just make a warrant. So that officer sends the warrant after you write your information. And this warrant, you just didn't get arrested for this warrant yet.
Bond on the petty theft, I believe with 2 prior convictions is $1,500. No return to the scene. Counsel, you had something to say?
Yes, Your Honor. So if I'm not mistaken, you said, so it's $1,500, $2,500, and $1,000 for all of the bonds?
Correct.
Okay. Do you have any objection to lowering the bond in regards to her cases, Your Honor?
State?
From her criminal history, she has no open, orange, or Osceola cases.
She has an active warrant out of Seminole County for similar charges. She does have a history of driving while license suspended ×4, grand theft ×6, petty theft ×5, false verification ownership to a pawnbroker, driving with expired license for more than 6 months, BOP, felony petty theft, possession of cocaine, battery, giving a false ID, and resisting officer without violence. These charges all reflect her criminal conviction history, and we would ask that the bond stay as set.
Defense would just keep her first original argument, Your Honor.
The bond will be as stands, as ordered. Good afternoon, state your name and date of birth for the record.
Cleveland Walton, 2889.
Mr. Walton, you were charged with, picked up on possession of cannabis with intent to sell or deliver, possession of cannabis less than 20 grams, actually greater than 20 grams, sorry. Possession of drug paraphernalia and resisting an officer without violence. Court's gonna defendant does not qualify for PTR.
Unable to verify any community ties.
Court's gonna set bond amount for the first charge at $1,000. Court's gonna reduce the second. Charge to $500. Third charge will be $250. And the last charge will be $100. No drugs, no weapons, no firearms.
Richard Matthews, bonded, Your Honor. Martell McNair, behavior.
Defense has no objection to waiving his appearance.
So the defendant charged with burglary of a dwelling and grand theft. Third degree, court finds probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR.
Charge does not qualify for the admin order.
Court will set bond in the first case at $3,500 and in the second case at $500. No return to the scene, no contact with the victim. Thank you.
I do have a PC argument for the next case, Your Honor.
State your name and date of birth for the record.
Alicia Moore,
I can't hear you, you gotta speak at a regular volume.
Alicia Moore, July 22nd, 1998.
So you were charged with neglect, child neglect with great bodily harm, and arson to the first degree. You have a PC argument for which one, counsel?
The arson charge, Your Honor.
Your argument?
My PC argument is that based on the statute that I read for arson, there's nowhere in the facts that indicated that she contributed to the car being set on fire, Your Honor.
Same question, counsel, state.
State has no objection to no PC being found on the arson charge. We would just ask that the bond stay as set for the child neglect. It's the state's position that not only is that child neglect, but children can die very quickly in a hot car. There is absolutely no reason to leave children unattended in a vehicle in the state of Florida during the month of May, or any month for that matter. So state will request that the bond at minimum stay at $5,000, and if not, be increased.
Court's gonna find no probable cause on the arson. As a state has no objection. Court's gonna find probable cause for the child neglect with great bodily harm. Bond will be set at $5,000.
Are you RORing on that arson charge then, Your Honor?
Defense will ask that you take no action in the out on bond case, Your Honor, as if it's not related to the cases that she's currently in front of you for.
State, any objection?
No objection.
Court will take no action on the prior.
You do have bond in this.
No return to the scene. I'm not going to make any conditions about the children. State, are we aware?
I'm not. We would just ask that she be required to comply with any DCF family plans.
So ordered.
And Your Honor, she's also in on 3 out-of-county cases.
Sumter County. You have out-of-county warrants for all 3 Sumter, 1, 2, 3, 4 Sumter County. You have bond in Sumter.
So in the case ending CF-634,
Like $8,000 bond.
you were picked up on an out-of-county warrant. There's a bond set for count 1, which is $1,000. Count 2 is $5,000. If you can pay it, great. If not, we'll let them know you're ready for pickup. In the case ending in 1037, another out-of-county warrant, bond is set at $1,000. If you can pay it, great. If you can't, we'll let them know you're ready for pickup. And that's for petty theft as well. And then a third case that ends in 1036 is on an out-of-county warrant. Bond is set at $1,000. Same as before. If you can pay it, go ahead and pay it. If you can't, let them know that you are ready to be picked up on those warrants. Thank you. I believe that should be it.
Rodney Newberry bonded, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. State your name and date of birth for the record.
Najee Purdue Kendrick, 32779.
Ms. Kendrick, you were picked up on organizing and planning a motor vehicle collision, which I've never heard of ever in my life, as an official charge. False and fraudulent insurance claims and grand theft in the 3rd degree. Court finds probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR.
Unable to verify any community ties.
Thank you, PTR. And the first charge bond will be $5,000. The second charge is $2,500, and the third. Court's gonna. And the third charge will be $1,000.
Yeah, you have bond, you can bond out.
Good afternoon, state your name and date of birth for the record.
Gregory Phillips, 61687.
I can't hear you, say that a little louder.
Gregory Phillips, 61687.
Mr. Phillips,
Yes, ma'am.
you have a warrant for failure to appear. That's what you were picked up on. No bond.
Can't change the bond, that's already on there.
Good afternoon, sir. State your name and date of birth for the record.
Troy Rice, March 13th, 1970.
Mr. Rice, you were picked up for carrying a concealed firearm.
Yes.
Court finds probable cause. Defendant does qualify for PTR. Court's gonna grant the PTR with the conditions: no drugs, no weapons, no firearms. Good afternoon, sir. State your name and date of birth for the record.
Jermaine Robinson, 4/16/1975.
Mr. Robinson, you were picked up on possession of methamphetamine or ecstasy, destroying evidence, and introducing contraband items in a county detention facility. Court's gonna find probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR.
Or legal constraints.
For the first charge, the bond is $2,500. Second charge, the bond will be reduced to $500. Third charge, bond will be reduced to $500. Condition of no drugs. I believe the defendant is out on bond, PTR?
He's was also served with an FTA warrant. He's also here on that.
This looks a little different to me. I'm sorry, you also are picked up on a failure to appear bond for, a warrant for a failure to appear, and that is no bond.
So I still don't have a bond on it?
So talk to the judge.
The judge who issued the warrant, but no, she's not.
That's in case number 2022 CF 013178.
John Kirby, St. Hilaire, bonded Your Honor.
Your name and date of birth for the record, sir?
Ronald Sanders, 11/16/1992.
Sir, you were picked up on fleeing and attempting to elude law enforcement officer and law enforcement and no valid driver's license.
Yes, ma'am.
Court finds probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR.
He's out on bond in Orange County.
For the first charge, bond will be set at $1,000 and $500 for the second charge with the condition of no driving without a valid driver's license. The defendant was out on bond, grand theft.
Defense will ask that you take no action in regards to the on bond case, Your Honor.
State,
The case is from 2021. Has it been filed on defense?
It has been filed on. I'm still asking that the court take no action in regards to that case.
Yeah, he's set for trial on July 3rd, so he has no objection to that.
no action on the prior case.
There's also another case, I believe there's two no valids. Is it 500 on each count?
So let me see. On the case ending in
1,500. She's gonna get another case.
7-1. Conditions the same, no driving without a valid driver's license, and the bond also $500. Should.
Would that be enough to get out?
200, 2,000 is bonds.
All right, thank y'all. Have a good day.
State your name and date of birth for the record, sir.
Antonio Smith, 1574.
Mr. Smith, you were picked up on failure to appear, and there'll be no bond.
No bond? So I gotta wait the court?
Yes.
Is there a court date or?
I don't see the next court date yet. The judge, the attorney assigned to you guys will let you know when the next court date is. I'll have the attorney reach out to you to let you know when the next court date is.
John Smith is behavior, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor. The defense has no objection to waiving his appearance.
So, the defendant was picked up on burglary of a dwelling, grand theft in the 3rd degree, and criminal mischief. Court finds probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR.
The charge doesn't qualify for the admin order.
Thank you, PTR. For the first charge, bond will be $5,000. Second charge, the bond will be $2,500. And for the third case, the bond will be $500. No contact, no return to the scene.
And he is the second case, Your Honor?
I think that second case went to IAs already.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's correct.
Defense has no objection to waiving, but defense has an argument for the open and carrying weapons and firearm.
Defendant was charged with possession of oxycodone, Percocet, possession of cannabis, less than 20 grams, and open carry of firearms. What's your argument, counsel?
In regards to the open and carrying with weapons or firearm, based on the statute and how I interpreted it, the firearm has to be carried on his person openly. The firearm was located inside of the vehicle, and he does have a concealed carry permit.
State.
Yes, Your Honor, he has a concealed carry, and the way that the firearm, I'm gonna be candid, the way that firearms in the vehicle, they've charged them with concealed carry for it being like that before. So the state has no objection to defense's argument.
Court is not finding probable cause on the
Open carrying.
I guess the third charge.
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find PC on the other two. Defendant disqualified for PTR. The court's gonna grant the PTR for the conditions of no drugs, no weapons, no firearms.
So PTR on count 1 and 2 and RR on 3?
Yes.
Thank you.
You'll state your name and date of birth for the record.
Earl Taylor Jr., 4182.
Mr. Taylor, you were picked up on possession of methamphetamine. Court finds probable cause. Defendant does qualify for PTR. Court's gonna grant the PTR with the condition of no drugs, no weapons, no firearms.
So what happened?
You can be released pre-trial release. You don't have to post a bond. You just have to meet with a supervisor as soon as you release. Yes. Yes.
Good afternoon, sir. State your name and date of birth for the record.
Can we waive the reading of the charges, Your Honor? Reading.
Jarrell Towns.
Sir, do you do understand the charges that are being levied against you?
Not quite, because I'm not understanding a little bit.
Your attorney for a couple of seconds.
One moment, please, Your Honor. He understands, Your Honor.
Court finds probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR.
It's due to their status.
Court's gonna set bond at $500 with the condition of updating your address.
That's fine. That is fine. Thank you.
Keaton Walton refused, Your Honor.
Defense has an objection, sorry. Defense has an argument in regards to PC for the second count and no objection to waiving his appearance.
What about Andre Renard Walker?
Oh, sorry, I think that's the person I was on. 1 second.
Do you have a booking number for Walker?
Andre?
013697.
They bonded.
Sorry, that was my PC argument for Walker, not the next one. We can waive his appearance. I don't have a PC argument.
So, Mr. Walton was charged with possession of a controlled substance and possession of prescription drugs without prescription. Court finds probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR.
No, unable to verify community ties.
PTR. Bond for the first charge will be $1,000. Bond for the second one is $500. With the condition, no drugs, no weapons, no firearms. Thank you. Good afternoon. State your name and date of birth for the record.
Diamond Wood, birthday is March 17, 2003.
Ms. Wood, you were picked up on a warrant for failure to appear in case number 2022 CF6, I think that's 011690. There'll be no bond. Make sure that's it.
It's also a violation of conditional, pretrial release for the same case.
Also, in the same case, there was a violation of pre-trial release, and there's no bond on that count as well.
Your Honor, I apologize. She does have a question. 1 moment, please. I'll have your attorney look into it. Thank you.
afternoon, sir. State your name and date of birth for the record.
Kenneth Gibson, March 13, 1989.
A little louder, sir.
Kenneth Gibson, March 13, 1989.
Sir, you were picked up on a failure to appear in case number 2023 MM 126480. The bond is set at $2,000.
No, because, one moment, please, Your Honor, he has a question. Your Honor, he does have a question. I don't have the warrant in front of me. He would like to know if on the warrant it indicated whether or not you can reduce the bond.
Your Honor, it's a failure to appear from another judge. I do believe that those aren't supposed to be changed.
So she can. Thank you, Your Honor.
Although some do say that it can be reduced on the face of it, but that one does not.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. You have a bond on your fail tip here.
Good afternoon, sir. State your name and date of birth for the record.
Michael Cornell Kurz, June 5th, 1973.
Sir, you were picked up on failure to appear,
Yes, ma'am.
and another failure to appear, I believe it, same case, 2023 MM 21900219580. And the bond in the first count is $2,000, and the bond in the second one is $100.
Hey.
One moment, please, Your Honor, he has a question.
Your Honor, Isabel, Christina, Bedaway, B.E.D.
Bonded?
Yeah, she bonded. John Brundage, also bonded. Christopher E.L., E.L., he also bonded.
Christopher who?
E.L., Christopher Kingsley E.L., Johnny Edwin Garcia Rodriguez, also bonded.
It was previously addressed.
He was a Spanish. We already did that.
Christopher Harden, he bonded. And Zachariah. And Quincy Dion Mathis, he bonded.
I wish I had known these before I read all these. Not that I'm complaining, though. This means the stack goes down. Good afternoon, ma'am. State your name and date of birth for the record.
Sheena Fisher, 9182.
Ms. Fisher, you were picked up on a charge of battery. Court finds probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR.
Unable to verify community ties.
Court will set the bond at $500 with conditions of no return to the scene and no alcohol.
Man, is it possible that I can get out on R&R? Because I did not do nothing. The guy, he ran up and beat me. I'm sorry.
Any objection to court releasing defendant on RR?
As long as she agrees not to return to the scene. I have no-
Promise I won't.
So order, court will release the defendant on RR, no return to the scene,
Thank
no alcohol.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. State your name and date of birth for the record.
Dante Green, 02/25/2003.
Mr. Green, you were picked up on possession of cannabis, less than 20 grams, possession of and possession of drug paraphernalia. Court finds probable cause, defendant does not qualify for PTR.
He's out on bond in Orange County.
Your Honor, the state has no objection for him being ROR'd. He has an open case for possession of cannabis as well. The chances are those are not going to be moved forward on, so I don't want him held. But no drugs, and this is your lucky day.
Did you hear?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sure you don't have an objection to that defense.
No objection, Your Honor.
Court's gonna release defendant on his own recognizance. Mr. Green, no drugs. You got lucky today.
Yes, ma'am.
Please don't miss your court date.
And you need to make sure you're appear.
And you're taking no action on the out on bond?
Yes, the court takes no action. State, the out of bond is what you were telling me was set coming up, right? Go ahead and state your name and date of birth for the record.
Joseph Hooker, 09/09/1991.
Mr. Hooker, you were picked up on trespass on property after warning.
Your Honor, in regards to this case, there is an offer to resolve this case. I have not had the time to review the offer with him to resolve the case. Can I review with him quickly to see if he wants to resolve the case in that matter?
Can we have the next one? Yeah, actually, he needs you, right? Go ahead, take a couple seconds.
Okay, one moment, please. Okay, so your offer is, so the case is transferred for warning, and in order to resolve this case, you have to bring custody. 7 days with credit time, so you might have 2 days, so you might have to do 5. When did you come here? Then you might have 2 days, so she's asking what to do 5 more days. So either. Seven days, you have credit for 2. Maybe later. We're gonna go over this with you. Hooker's case would like to withdraw a previously entered plea of not guilty and enter a plea of no contest with the agreed upon disposition of adjudication of guilt. 7 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for time served, no return to the scene. And for his costs, he's asking if it can be as a civil lien, Your Honor.
No objection to the civil.
So ordered, as read by counsel.
She's going to plead with him.
Do you understand the nature of the charge against you?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand the difference between pleading guilty, no contest, and not guilty and the effect of those pleas?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand the right to trial before the judge and the jury?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand you have a right to an attorney and have an attorney appointed to you if you cannot afford one?
Yes, ma'am.
Right to presume innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. The right to confront and cross-examine witnesses. The right to call witnesses at your own trial. The right to testify at the trial and have testimony considered. You understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Right to an appeal.
Yes, ma'am.
The right to have a court reporter to make a complete record of the court proceedings.
Yes, ma'am.
The minimum and maximum sentences listed on this document you have been advised of.
Yes, ma'am.
You also understand that if you're not represented by an attorney, you waive your right to consult with an attorney or have one appointed for the plea and sentencing in this case.
Yes, ma'am.
You understand that there are dangers and disadvantages of representing actually, you're not representing yourself, so.
Yes, ma'am.
You're not under the influence of any alcohol or drugs at this time, and you understand my instructions fully
Yes, ma'am.
and what your rights are.
Yes, ma'am.
And you are entering this plea free of any promises and threats other than the pleas made in open court at this time.
Yes, ma'am.
You understand you have 30 days to file a written appeal of the judgment and sentence imposed with the clerk of the court. And you further understand that you have a right to have an attorney appointed for the appeal if you cannot afford one, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
By entering this plea of guilty or no contest here today, that you may be subject to greater penalties if you are ever convicted again. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand if you're not a U.S. citizen that this resulting plea, that you could be subjected to deportation proceedings.
Yes, ma'am.
If you are on probation in another case, by entering a plea of no contest or guilty, in this case, your current plea will be used to prove a violation of probation against you in another case. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
By entering a plea of no contest prior to trial, you're giving up the opportunity to challenge the admissibility of any evidence against you and the opportunity to have the case dismissed. You understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
And if you wish to, if the charge for which you're pleading to today, I don't need to read that.
That's it.
Yes.
Have a blessed day.
David Smith is mental health, Your Honor.
It's what?
Can we reset this for tomorrow? He does have a credit time serve offer, Your Honor.
Reset.
And he is bond pending, so his bond has been posted.
Okay.
Yes, he's bonded.
State your name and date of birth for the record.
First name is Allison, last name is Wallace. Date of birth is 12/26/1996.
Ms. Wallace, you've been picked up on resisting an officer without violence.
Yes,
Finds probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR.
She was unable to be interviewed.
Court's gonna set bond at,
Any objection to RRing her, Your Honor? I don't see any criminal history on the sheet that I have.
why I paused.
No objection. She's likely eligible for our pretrial diversion program as well. So no objection to that, and just stay out of trouble.
If you miss it, you'll be
Released on her own recognizance.
You'll be released today. One moment, please, Your Honor. She has a question. No problem.
Afternoon, sir. State your name and date of birth for the record.
Benito Benavidez, 4/14/79.
Sir, you were picked up on an out-of-county warrant. Thank you. You said you was gonna. No bond. And you also were picked up in another, it's the same one? Right. Okay. two charges of. Just right. Case number 2022 CF 0000745. There are 6 charges of out-of-county warrant, and there's no bond in any of them. All right, thank you, sir. Good afternoon, state your name and date of birth for the record.
Terrence Bryant, 0122-2001.
Mr. Bryant, you were picked up on an out-of-county warrant. There's no bond. Out of Polk County. State your name and date of birth for the record.
Passion Graham, January 1st, 2000.
So, Mr. Graham, you were picked up on an out-of-county warrant, and there is no bond. It's out of Volusia County.
I believe there's 2 warrants.
I have an attorney
Two different
working
case
on my
numbers.
case.
And there is another out-of-county warrant, case number ending in, actually, it's just 2023-241-957. And that's an out-of-county warrant, and there's no bond in that one. And it is also Volusia County.
One moment, please, Your Honor. She has a question.
Volusia County has 72 hours to come get you. You just have no bond, so there's nothing she can do. Just be transferred. Yeah, you just have no bond.
That's it? Yes.
Can you state your name and date of birth for the record?
My name is Derek Williams, date of birth is 8/9/67.
Sir, you were picked up on an out-of-county warrant out of Polk County. The bond is $500. So you can pay it if you can. If you can't, we'll let them know you're ready for pickup.
Yes, ma'am. So I can take care of here, ma'am?
If you post a bond, you can be released.
Okay, thank you.
If you don't post a bond, they'll come get you in 72 hours.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
DeAndre Bowen, refused, Your Honor.
Defense has no objection to waiving his appearance.
So Mr. Bowen was picked up on a violation of probation. It would be no bond. And that's in case number 2022 CF 6486. State your name and date of birth for the record, sir.
Lawrence Jones,
Mr. Jones?
2002.
Okay. Mr. Jones, you were picked up on a violation of probation, and that's case number 2022 CF 000628 AO, and the bond is set at $4,000. No, it's no bond. The corrections on the front. I'm sorry, the sheet on the front? I'm sorry. It's no bond. Oh, is that no bond?
You're able to bond out. I'll have the attorney reach out to you. I don't have the paperwork in front of me.
Say your name and date of birth for the record.
John Patrick White, 2/20/73.
Your Honor.
He came here earlier, but he.
A private attorney appeared this morning for Mr. White. I just want to let you know, Mr. Wesley Lankner, he just wanted the court to know that he will be filing a notice of appearance and that he will be representing Mr. White. His position was he understood it would be at 0 and that he plans on handling the issues we have with the trial judge.
Okay.
He also said do not appoint the public defender's office.
Yes, that was the important part and I forgot it.
I'm sorry. Okay. You are John Patrick White.
Yes, ma'am.
So the public defender is not appointed in your case, and we have private counsel. You are picked up on a violation of community control, and there is no bond. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
And it looks like he does have reporting requirements, just so he knows.
I'm sorry.
It looks like he does have reporting requirements, just so he knows.
Does he need to know the reporting requirements or?
No.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. It's fine.
He has a If he wants to know too, he has a border patrol hold. I don't know
Okay.
what that means, but
I don't know what that means either.
State your name and date of birth for the record, sir.
Jose Perez?
Mr. Perez, you were picked on a violation of probation. There's no bond.
There's no bond on the BOP. No, I'll have the attorney reach out to you. You go.
State your name and date of birth for the record.
Cameron Jackson, June 4th, 1991.
Mr. Jackson, you were picked up on camping in a prohibited area. Exceptions, court finds probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR.
There is an offer, Your Honor. I just need to relay the offer to him. May I relay the offer?
You may.
Thank you. I'm not sure if you're gonna like this offer or not, but she's offering 30 days. Your Honor, at this time, he's not interested in the offer. It's a 30-day offer that the state is offering. So he would like to know if you have any objections to RR him in regards to this case. This is a county ordinance, and it is for camping.
Yes, Your Honor, the state would object. Mr. Jackson was just convicted on May 18th of this year for camping. It's the state's position that this is just a county ordinance, but the location where this camping is continually occurring.
Objection.
Is with,
Excuse me, I have a record deal and I just got back from the Grammys and I also have a universal record deal. I'm trying to understand where am I supposed to be located?
genuinely do not care. It's the state's position that children need to be able to get to school. Mothers need to be able to walk on the sidewalk with their children. Men need to get to work. Women need to get to work. This county deserves to have sidewalks that are clear of litter, garbage, drug paraphernalia, and other such items. States offers 30 days. We would object to an ROR.
Defense is asking for RR because this is a crime based on poverty, Your Honor. Camping is, sleeping somewhere like on a park bench, on the sidewalk, and it's just a crime that targets transient clients. That's my argument for RR, Your Honor. He doesn't have an extensive criminal history. He does have 8 misdemeanors. He does not have any failure to appears.
You just got back from the Grammys?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Then why are you camping? Why not stay in a hotel?
Because they're trying to make complaints to me, but they're not sending me any extra paperwork on what I need to do.
But that wasn't my question. My question, if you can afford to go to the Grammys.
I never said I could afford it.
You said you just got back from the Grammys and you have a record deal.
And they haven't even sent me any Grammys.
But my question is, why stay in a tent? Why not stay in a hotel room or with your family or in a house or things like that?
Because I also work at a church too.
Well, have you asked for any kind of shelter from the church?
Yes, I have, but every day they don't have everything figured out as far as.
What about camping on the church's grounds?
That's where I want to actually go to, but we haven't actually figured that part out yet, or what do you think?
Well, it can't be any different than camping where you're camping now, constantly getting citations.
The thing that she just said, I've never heard anyone say that before, so it's like, why couldn't they have said that days earlier?
You've already been convicted of this. This is not a new thing for you. So while I keep considering whether or not I'm gonna let you out on your own recognizance, she's right. You're fully aware. So based on your own, stop talking. Based on your own testimonies, you could camp somewhere else or live somewhere else. Court,
That's just what my mommy told me to
stop talking.
Until they
Stop talking. So court's gonna release defendant on his own recognizance because I agree with your argument, counsel, with the conditions of no return to this area at all, or any other public area. You need to speak with the people at the church, speak with your family members, about possibly camping, or instead of camping, staying in their house or staying in a house or getting a hotel. You understand that, sir? Do you understand that, sir? Okay. All right. Thank you. For this last time, though. All right. State your name and date of birth for the record, ma'am.
Vanessa Mop, January 22nd, 1978.
Ms. Mop, you are charged with having an open container in front of probably the store you bought it from. Court finds probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR.
Unable to be interviewed.
Your Honor,
Yes, I was waiting.
there is an offer to resolve her case. Can I review the offer with her?
You may.
Thank you. I don't. Speaking to her, she does not want to accept the state's offer of 7 days in the Orange County Jail. She would like to know if you have any objections to RRing her in regards to this case. Her last failure to appear was in 2015, and this is an open container case. There's no victims involved in this case, Your Honor.
State any objection?
No objection, but don't drink in front of the liquor store.
So court will release the defendant on her own recognizance. If you buy something out of the store, just go in your house. Take it home and drink it. Don't even drink it in the car, and don't drink it in front of the store. Walk back or drive back to your home and drink it there. You understand?
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
You're welcome.
Ramon Antonio Susana.
Uh-oh.
Xavier.
I gave you the wrong one. This is Vanessa Mott. And whose behavior?
Susana, S-U-S-A-N-A. Ramon Antonio.
Okay. Is this a male? Oh, it's female.
Can we reset this case to tomorrow, Your Honor? He does have a credit time served to resolve his case.
You want to reset instead of making an argument for RR?
I can try that. One moment.
I don't, at this point, he can be ROR.
The RR? Is the RR? State has no objection to RR, so RR, Your Honor, defense is asking for.
His charges are being at a park after the park closed, and it's state misdemeanors, which I could not exactly figure out what that was.
Resisting officer without violence, I believe.
Okay. Court finds probable cause, however, defendant does not qualify for PTR. Court's gonna release the defendant on his own recognizance, just with the condition that he abides by the park's hours
Okay.
as posted. All right, I think we are done. Okay.
Otherwise, you get a call from the reporters.
All right, the defendant is wearing the headset.
Do you want us to announce ourselves for the record?
You can hear the interpreter.
Sorry. Herbert Joel Perez, who? You can go ahead and state your name and date of birth for the record, sir.
Señor, díganos su nombre para las actas, por favor.
Ever Joel Perez Pu.
Ever Joel Perez Pu.
Is he supposed to be hearing you in the headset, Madam Interpreter?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because we hear you out loud as well. Is it supposed to be?
Y la escucho.
Okay, no, it's okay, Your Honor.
Okay,
He can hear me.
all right. Sir, you were picked up on battery, domestic battery by strangulation, and battery, touch, or strike. Court finds probable cause. I believe the defendant does not qualify for PTR. PTR? I'm sorry. Oh. State you want to inquire? Yes, Your Honor. Okay. And make sure you speak up so we can hear you. I know you're can be Been
This
wore
is-
out last night by your baby.
This is Trustee Tyner for the state of Florida. Ma'am, can you tell me your name and relationship to Mr. Perez?
I'm Vanessa Mary Raya, and I'm his wife.
Okay. Are you wishing to have contact with your husband?
I want to have.
You want contact? Are you scared of him? And has anything like this ever happened before?
We didn't hear, you need to speak at a normal volume.
No.
Court's gonna set bond for the first count, $1,000, and $500 for the. $250 for the second count. Defense, are you requesting a non-hostile?
Yes, Your Honor.
Be non-hostile. Oh, you put them together already? 1,250.
That's what I thought. I was like, I don't think she said five.
I just thought it was a new year, maybe it was extra. Good morning, sir. State your name and date of birth for the record.
Elisangel Sanabrias, 72596.
Alexander Sanabrias, 72596.
Sir, you were picked up on battery. Court finds probable cause. I believe the defendant qualified for PTR. Court's going to grant the PTR as a victim. State.
Good morning. What's your name?
Daily Gonzalez.
And what's your relationship to Mr. Sanabria?
He's my baby daddy.
Are you seeking to have contact with him today?
Sir?
Do you want contact with him?
Yes.
Are you scared of him? No. Has anything like this ever happened before? Okay, no further questions from the state.
Court's going to grant, is it direct PTR? Court's going to grant the direct PTR. And so are you seeking non-hostile?
Yes, Your Honor.
Condition of non-hostile contact. All right, thank you. I'm sorry. Attorneys, make sure you state your name for the record. Keep forgetting.
Messley Eugene on behalf of the Office of the Public Defender.
Trustee Tyner for the state of Florida.
Jasnel Hernandez Perez.
Yes.
Is that him? Go ahead and state your name and date of birth for the record, sir.
Josniel Hernández Pérez, mayo 8 de 1990.
Josniel Hernandez Perez, May 8, 1990.
Sir, you were picked up on grand theft and petty theft of $100 or more. Court finds probable cause. The defendant does not qualify for PTR due to prior legal constraints. Correct, PTR? Court will set bond at $500 for the first charge and $500 for the second charge. And the condition will be no return. Court will take no action on the prior state unless you have something to say about it that you want the court to consider.
No, Your Honor, that's not an issue.
Thank you.
I do have something to tell him. Can you, translator, can you let him know that he's not represented in the Audon bond case and to get representation?
Ok, pero yo puedo pagar la fianza esta y irme para mi casa.
But I can pay this bond and go home?
Yes.
Ok, gracias.
Thank you.
Sir, go ahead and. Sir, go ahead and state your name and date of birth for the record.
Michael Padrón Maquedi. 23 de 9 de 1977. No, 23 de septiembre del 97, del 77.
Michael Padrón Marquedi, September 23rd, 77.
Sir, you were picked up on grand theft, 2 charges of it actually, and larceny possession of an anti-shoplifting device. Court finds probable cause. I believe the defendant does not qualify for PTR, but PTR? You said yes? Okay. Court will set bond for $500 in the first count, $150 in the second count, and $150 in the third count. Condition of no return. Thank you. Yes. State your name and date of birth for the record, sir.
12 de enero del 94. Rubén Alain Pérez Santos.
Ruben Alain Perez Santos, 11294.
Sir, you were picked up on grand theft, 2 charges of grand theft in the 3rd degree. The court finds probable cause. I believe the defendant does not qualify for PTR. Bond in the first account will be $500. Bond in the second account will be $500 as well, with a condition of no return. Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Gracias.
Does he need it? Does he need an interpreter?
¿Necesita intérprete, señor? Does he not need an
Okay.
interpreter, Your Honor?
Can she log into that box? Madam Interpreter, our victim needs the interpretation today.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Sir, state your name and date of birth for the record.
Angel Carrion, December 30th, 1985.
Sir, you were picked up on assault, domestic violence. Court finds probable cause. Defendant, I believe the defendant qualifies for direct PTR. PTR, am I correct?
Yes, Your Honor, you're correct.
Court's gonna grant the direct PTR. I'm gonna hear from the witness or the victim.
1 second, please.
La juez, al señor Carrión se le ha acusado de amenaza de agresión, violencia doméstica, y vamos a escuchar lo que la víctima tiene que decir en este caso en un momento.
State whenever you're ready.
Can you state your name for the record, please?
¿Nos puede decir su nombre para las actas, por favor?
Ivonne Ramos.
Yvonne Ramos.
And what's your relationship to the defendant?
Why?
¿Cuál es su parentesco?
Esposa.
Wife.
Are you seeking to have contact with him?
¿Usted está pidiendo poder tener contacto, comunicación con él?
Sí.
Yes.
Are you afraid of him?
¿Le tiene temor?
No.
No.
Has anything like this ever happened before?
¿Algo así ha ocurrido anteriormente?
No.
No.
No further questions from the state.
¿Alguna otra pregunta de la víctima?
As I said before, court's going to grant the direct PTR with the conditions of non-hostile contact in the house.
Your Honor, one moment, please. He does have a question.
La juez va a permitir que él salga bajo el programa de servicios de antelación, pero no puede tener contacto hostil. Puede tener contacto, pero no puede ser hostil.
Your Honor, while we wait for them, what's the case number? I might have the wrong paperwork.
It is 23MM 3682AO. Should be Angel Carry On.
Yes, I do have the wrong case number.
Definitely happens, counsel. To me too.
This makes much more sense. Madam Interpreter, can you let the victim know that there's going to be no hostile contact and our office will be in touch with her, the state attorney's office?
Señora, la fiscal quiere dejarle saber que él va a poder tener contacto, con usted, pero no va a ser contacto hostil. Y la oficina de la fiscalía se va a estar comunicando con usted. ¿Entiende?
Sí.
Okay.
And he will be released today. No bond will need to be posted.
Él va a poder quedar en libertad hoy y no va a tener que pagar una fianza.
Thank you, Madam Interpreter.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Madam Interpreter. I think that's all of our Spanish cases.
As soon as possible.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a great day.
You too.
Tomorrow. You're welcome.
No problem.
All right, next case, Christopher, is that Figueroa? Go ahead and state your name and date of birth for the record, sir.
Christopher Figueroa, 11/3/1983.
Sir, you were picked up on aggravated battery, great bodily harm. Court finds probable cause. I believe the defendant does not qualify for PTR. PTR?
He does not, Your Honor.
Court's gonna set bond at $5,000, even though I feel like it needs to be higher.
One moment, please, Your Honor. Your Honor, I do see information about a violation of probation, but I don't have information about the violation of probation.
It's the interstate VOP, Your Honor, so we don't see those in IAs.
So I just have a question. So will he be able to bond out with the $5,000 bond?
No, he won't.
Okay, so he won't be able to bond out because of the interstate hold.
And I don't have that, right, PTR?
No, Your Honor, you won't have that.
No problem. This is yours. Thank you.
The conditions, no return, no contact.
Yes, ma'am.
One moment, please, Your Honor. I apologize. Do you guys live together? Okay, no return to scene and no contact. Thank you.
Actually, before we go, State, did you have any argument about the court's bond amount?
Your Honor, based off the incident and the report as it's written, I see that he is only charged with aggravated, sorry, let me get it right.
Battery.
Aggravated battery with great bodily harm. It's the state's position that that charge, along with others, as well as his history, would warrant a higher bond. State's asking for a $10,000 bond. He does have a history. He's got an out-of-state warrant, and it is likely that multiple charges will be able to be filed based off of this affidavit as it's written. His history includes 2 prior battery domestic violences with the same victim, as well as an additional battery and multiple parole violations. He also has out-of-state convictions for carrying a dangerous weapon, threatening, and running from police, as well as probation. That history combined with what's alleged in the affidavit would mean the state would be requesting a higher bond.
Defense?
Defense will be asking that you keep the bond set as is, based on the facts that's being alleged. Based on information that I have in front of me, I do see his Florida arrest history. However, he does have no felony convictions or misdemeanor convictions, or even failure to appear in Florida, Your Honor. Yeah, but she's able to see the arrest. It's fine. She's able to see the arrest.
I'm gonna leave it since I said it. So ordered.
One moment, please, Your Honor.
Can I get, State, can you remind me to, you can go. You can go. All right. We'll discuss. Can you remember that one?
Yes.
Carlos, I'm sorry, go ahead and state your name and date of birth for the record.
Carlos Alvarez, 91088.
Sir, you were picked up on possession of a controlled substance and possession of drug paraphernalia. Court finds probable cause. I believe the defendant does not qualify for PTR.
No, Your Honor, he does qualify.
He does?
He does.
Direct or a PTR with a bond?
Direct PTR.
Court's gonna grant the direct PTR with the condition of no drugs or prescription drugs without prescription as well. All right. Thank you. State your name and date of birth for the record, sir. Good morning.
Olua Damilola Luco, July 20th, 2000.
Sir, you were picked up on an out-of-county warrant, no bond, out of Seminole County.
Your Honor, are you going to take any action on his out on bond case?
Defense will ask that you take no action so that he could just be sent over to Seminole County, Your Honor.
State?
He's set for a trial on that on August 8th. State has no objection to him being sent.
Court takes no action on the priors. Thank you.
Here, sir.
State your name and date of birth for the record, sir. Good morning.
Morning. Donnie Yvonne Hamulek, 051774.
Sir, you were picked up on trespass on the property after warning. Court finds probable cause. PTR?
Is this Donahue? No, Your Honor, he does not qualify.
You say he doesn't?
He does not yet.
Court's gonna set bond.
Your Honor, can we square this up right now? Is that, sorry to interrupt.
I can't hear, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, is there any way we could square this up right now?
You mean, can you pay bond today?
No, take care of the case, because I was actually, it wasn't,
I can't hear, I'm sorry.
actually, we could actually just take care of the case. I was warned to leave, but I never returned. I was never allowed to leave.
Your Honor, in regards to this case, I think he's asking for a plea to resolve the case. I did go over the offer with him. He said he's not willing to accept it. So I'm not sure what else he's asking for.
State?
So what I was,
Your Honor, the state gave an offer in adjudication court cost 5 5 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2, total of 7 days, but 5 days left to serve, and a no return to the 7-Eleven. Mr. Hamilak's behavior has been escalating. He was picked up for open container on March 30th of this year, and his actions combined with his history resulted in that offer.
I believe he might be seeking a credit time served offer, Your Honor, instead of being in custody for 5 more days.
We'll leave it at the bench discretion.
Court will grant credit for time served, the 2 days. Mr. Hamilak, stop trespassing. I know it might be a little easier said than done. I don't understand your situation, but just stop going back, no return to the scene.
Copy that.
Understand that?
I copy that.
So one moment, please, Your Honor. I just need to go over the plea form with him.
That means I need to go over it then, right?
Just quickly. Oh, I thought you were trying to get my attention.
You right. Finish part 1. At least I'm gonna try it. You think it's gonna take too long? Oh, no, it's even after. Right. I wish. Let me get my parts of it done, so if I'm holding you up, that I'm no longer holding you up. At least not today. Sir, is it your testimony that you understand the things that you're agreeing to in this plea?
Yes.
And that your attorney has gone over it with you? And that you understand the difference between pleas of no contest and not guilty?
I do.
And the effect of each plea? That you have a right to be presumed innocent before guilty, to call witnesses? Trying to skip along.
Do you want me to read the plea for the record?
Yes.
Trying to go quicker.
I'm
Do I
sorry.
need to read the, do I need to?
Yes, so he'll be entering a no contest plea for trespass. It'll be adjudication of guilt, credit for time served, and the court cause, he'll like it for it to be a civil lien, Your Honor.
No objection.
All right, so ordered. Thank you.
Thank you.
Should've did that, we should have did that yesterday.
Yes.
Make myself a little sticky for the next time.
No. Because you were.
That was. Go ahead and state your name and date of birth for the record.
Jared Harris, 7/20/94.
Your Honor, this is a reset from yesterday. There's no additional information. You did set a bond on the trespass, and we would just ask that that remain, and he be ROR'd on the burglary, and for the court to make it clear that he cannot go back to this residence. I understand that it is his family, but if he goes back, he'll end up back here again.
Did you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
So court found probable cause yesterday. I believe the defendant did not qualify for PTR.
No, Your Honor.
Court's gonna ROR the defendant on the first charge of the burglary, and the bond for the second one, what is that? I think it was $100.
Yes, Your Honor.
Court's gonna, grant that with the condition of no return.
And no PC was found on count one, correct, Your Honor?
Correct.
Okay. One moment, please. One moment, please, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
I didn't do anything.
State your name and date of birth for the record.
Sakina Burgess, and I was framed, ma'am. I can't be no man ass. Excuse my French, ma'am. But I can't be any man. As small as I am, and I'm pregnant and stuff.
Don't say nothing.
Ma'am, you were picked up on battery, touch or strike, court finds probable cause. I believe that the defendant does not qualify for PTR due to prior legal constraints. Correct, PTR?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because, like, I'm mentally cased. That's why I'm in restraints.
Court's gonna set bond at $500 with the conditions of no contact, no return.
Yes.
Court's gonna take no action on the prior.
For that.
State any objection to court taking no action on the prior.
No, Your Honor.
Never again in life.
Okay.
Ever. I don't even want to be a black person ever again in my life. I want to see no black person.
Your Honor,
ever again
can't
in
you
my
just get a
life.
one-time return with law enforcement just in case they reside together?
Yes.
Okay.
And
What you got to do, ma'am?
counsel, that's a stand-in condition. I may miss it, but I'm gonna always grant one time with law enforcement to retrieve personal effects.
Okay.
Okay.
Unless there is some serious reason
But
not to.
what is the charge? I don't even know what I'm here for, man.
So I think
What?
I just read the charge.
You mind? What is the charge, man?
It's battery. Okay.
What's
And Your Honor, are you taking no action on the Audubon case?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Me?
Yes, you can go, it's fine.
Can you write the second bond on there?
There's one bond, it's right there.
Oh,
You're good.
She understood then when, for the no, all of a sudden she got understood with the no bond. Can you write the second bond?
Right.
But before then, she understood.
I think it's just Ms. Lean's calming nature.
Is that this, Sobner? Madam Interpreter, good morning, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is Marie. I'm a Haitian Creole interpreter.
Have you been sworn?
Not yet.
All right. Do you solemnly swear to or affirm that you will faithfully translate from English to Creole and from Creole to English to the best of your ability, so help you God?
I do.
Sir, go ahead and state your name and date of birth for the record.
Monsieur, s'il vous plaît, by nom, s'il vous plaît, pour dossier.
Sobnet Charles.
Sovnet Charles.
Sir, you were picked up on battery, touch or strike.
Monsieur, t'es prêt parce que ou t'es fait violence sur monde?
The court finds probable cause.
No, madame, madame.
Madam Interpreter?
Yes. Et tribunal là, t'es jeune que t'es gain cause probable.
I believe the defendant does not qualify for PTR.
Moi pas quoi que ou qualifié pour PCR.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Court will set bond at $500.
Et tribunal là mette un bon pour $500.
And I see there's a victim that would like to speak. State, are you going to inquire?
Yes, Your Honor. Ma'am, what's your name and relationship to Mr. Charles?
My name is Franz Toussaint. He's my husband.
Madam Interpreter?
Monsieur, madame, comment relais et qui relation avec monsieur?
My name is Franz Toussaint, and he's my husband.
Yes.
Non, c'est Frank Toussaint et c'est Marie Mlier.
Are you seeking contact with your husband?
Not at all. No contact at all.
Est-ce qu'on va chercher un contact avec Marie ou non? Pas du tout.
No, no contact.
Non, pas de contact.
No further questions from the state.
Defense, any questions?
One moment, please, Your Honor.
Briefly, counsel.
We're fine with the no contact, Your Honor. We're just asking for one-time return.
So no contact, no return except one time with law enforcement. And bond is $500. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
We're gonna try to speed up a little bit. And
Yo mette caution pour $500 et ou pas qu'à retourner sur le lieu côté que bagarre est arrivé.
thank you. I believe that's it for the Creole interpreter.
Thank you for using our services. Have a good day.
Is that it for the Creole interpreter? Yes, thank you for your services this morning.
And Your Honor, can I cut in real quick? I'm so sorry. For the previous defendant, Perez Santos Rudeness, he was a felony case for grand theft, third degree, for 2 counts. You ordered 2 counts to be $500, but he already posted bond, so can you just keep his previous bond amounts for $2,500 and $150?
That's fine.
Thank you.
And what case number was that?
23 CF 7043AO, Rudeness, RUDENZ. Last name Perez Santos. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
I do have a PC argument for the next case, Your Honor.
State your name and date of birth for the record.
Candace Adams, August 5th, 1989.
Ma'am, you were picked up on aggravated battery with a weapon. Court finds probable cause. Let me hear your argument, counsel.
My argument is in regards to the weapon being the butter knife. I don't believe the butter knife was used in a fashion to cause great bodily harm. There's no details in the affidavit about the condition of the stab wound, and I don't see that a butter knife being a deadly weapon, Your Honor.
State.
Yes, Your Honor, it's alleged that she attempted to stab him twice with the butter knife. It is still a knife. It is capable of cutting. It's the state's position that it does meet the requirements of a weapon and aggravates the battery charge since she was stabbing him.
I believe the fact says there were 2 stab wounds in the victim's left arm. I don't even know if the charge is with great bodily harm. I know it's an aggravated battery. Court's gonna leave it with the aggravated battery. Court finds probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR, correct PTR?
Correct, Your Honor.
Bond's gonna be set at $3,500. No return, no contact.
And one-time return, Your Honor?
Yes, always. One-time return with law enforcement.
You get one-time return with law enforcement. You just can't be in contact.
All right.
I do have a PC argument, Your Honor, for count 2.
Okay. Do they mind getting this, yeah, I wanna go faster. State your name and date of birth for the record, sir.
My name is Jeffrey Clipper Ball.
Sir, you were picked up on battery on a person 65 years age or older and regular battery. Court finds probable cause. Defense, your challenge.
In regards to battery domestic violence count 2, I see the PC for battery on a person 65 years or older. I don't see why there's a second count for battery domestic violence, Your Honor.
One did the same thing. Counsel,
State agrees.
are we? I'm sorry. Okay, so court's gonna RR on that second one. Victim wants to speak.
Yes, Your Honor. Sir, can you state your name and relationship to Mr. Jeffrey Ball?
My name is Maurice Law, and Jeffrey Ball's my son-in-law.
Okay, are you seeking to have contact with him today?
No.
And does he live with you?
Yes, and I'm trying to get him out. I'd like to have him removed.
Okay, no further questions. The state would ask for a no contact and no return with a one-time return.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so ordered. No return, no contact, one time with law enforcement. And bond on the first will be $1,000.
Can you take no action on the on-all bond case, Your Honor?
Excuse me. And, excuse me, and I'm also, afraid of him. I'm scared for my life.
Yes, he's not allowed to have, it's been ordered today that he cannot have any contact with you and he can't return to your residence. If he does return to your residence, it has to be with the assistance of law enforcement, and that has to be set up through either the police department or the sheriff's department.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Court's gonna take no action on the prior. Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Yes.
Your Honor, could I say something?
No.
About what?
Your Honor, if you look on the affidavit, you'll see I never abused it, I never touched him or anything.
So
And I
that's,
got a witness, my wife.
so that's the argument for you to make in front of the trial judge, sir. I'm just determining whether or not I see probable cause for them to even charge you, not whether or not you're guilty or innocent.
Well, is it any kind of way I can get a bond or anything?
I just set a bond,
You have $1,000 bond.
and I ROR'd the second charge. I set a bond.
I don't have 1,000 now. I'm disabled, man. I swear to God, I'm disabled. I honest on on Jesus. I did not do anything to hurt this man.
State,
I was trying to leave away from that.
State, do you have an objection to the court lowering the bond?
No objection, Your Honor. He's testified he doesn't have the means to bond out.
Is this the push case?
Yes, Your
Yes,
Honor.
Your Honor.
What are you thinking, State?
If he was to use a bail bondsman, he would have to post 10%.
Probably can't.
So $100 should be sufficient. If the court is so inclined, we would just ask that the no contact and no return remain. That's the important part.
So order would be $100.
$100 bond, Your Honor?
Yes, State, that's what you were saying, right?
Yes.
Okay. To order. No contact, no return, except one time with law enforcement. Thank you. All right. State your name and date of birth for the record, ma'am.
Do-hee Kim, September 12, 1995.
Ma'am, you were charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon without intent to kill. Court finds probable cause. I believe the defendant does not qualify for PTR.
She does not.
Court will set bond at $1,500 with the conditions of no return, no contact.
Your Honor, can we remove the no return because he no longer resides there based on the affidavit? He's living with a friend until he can move in with his father who resides in Michigan.
State?
They would just request that they be required to maintain separate residences.
So ordered. I'll do no contact. She may return since she's living there, but they must retain separate residences.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. State your name and date of birth for the record, sir. Good afternoon.
November 26, 1986. Michael Morris.
Sir, I believe you were picked up on battery by strangulation. Court finds probable cause. I believe the defendant qualifies for direct PTR.
He does, Your Honor.
State any argument about court possibly granting direct PTR.
No objection to direct PTR. We would
Court's going to grant the direct PTR with the conditions of no return, no contact, except one time with law enforcement. Thank you.
Be able to release PTR. You have questions about this? One moment, please, Your Honor. I apologize.
All right, so as long as you guys know that you're keeping us here. I'm trying to move. Good afternoon, sir. State your name and date of birth for the record.
Yes, sir, Abdulbaki, 14/1977.
Sir, you're picked up on a violation of domestic violence injunction and criminal mischief. Court finds probable cause. I believe the defendant does not qualify for PTR, probably due to prior legal constraints, correct, PTR?
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct.
Court's gonna grant bond for the first count, $1,500, and $500 for the second one, with the conditions of no contact, no return, except one time with law enforcement. Actually, he shouldn't have been there. It was an active injunction, so doesn't need to return one time. No contact, no return. second person in, so we can move. State your name and date of birth for the record.
Name is Ernest Alexander, born December 14, 1967.
Sir, you were picked up on battery, domestic violence. Court finds probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR. PTR?
That is correct, Your Honor.
I see there's a victim that wants to speak.
Hi, good morning. Can you tell me your name in relationship to Mr. Ernest Alexander?
My name is Anna Whitehead Alexander, and I'm his wife.
Okay. Are you seeking to have contact with your husband today?
Yes.
Are you scared of him?
No.
And has anything like this ever happened before?
No.
No further questions from the state. We'd just be asking a no hostile contact be issued.
Asking for what? What you say?
No hostile contact with you.
Oh, what does that mean?
It means he can have contact, but he can't yell, scream, hit, punch, things like that.
Okay.
So best behavior, basically.
Okay.
So ordered, counsel, bond will be $500 and a no hostile contact. Thank you.
Ma'am, why couldn't he get an R&R?
Based off the charge, the state would object to that because we need to make sure that he complies with the no hostile contact as well as returning to court.
Good afternoon. State your name for the record. State name and date of birth for the record.
Shakiria Banks, 1225, 1992.
Ms. Banks, you were picked up on battery, domestic violence. Court finds probable cause. Defendant does qualify for direct PTR.
He does, Your Honor.
Court's going to grant the direct PTR with the conditions of no return, no contact, except one time with law enforcement.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that because I was talking? I'm sorry.
So I am going to grant direct pretrial release. That means you don't have to pay a bond. The conditions are going to be no contact with the victim, no return to the scene, except for one time with law enforcement to get your personal belongings.
Okay, can I say something?
Briefly.
It's my house. He don't stay with me.
You see it?
Yeah, it's my apartment. He don't stay with me. It's just me and my kids.
So he was just over?
Yes.
They do have different addresses listed.
Okay. So take off the no return. She can return to her own house. Just no contact.
Okay, and another question with that. So, with the no contact, how do we get that like disregarded? Because we have kids. Like we have.
One moment, please, Your Honor.
Judge will handle that.
So, Your Honor, is it no
Maintain
contact? and
maintain separate residences.
Which will be released to APTR. You can call the prosecutor's office and they'll. Yeah.
I'm moving. Good afternoon, sir. State your name and date of birth for the record.
Dustin Todd Branham, 22777.
Sir, you were charged with battery, domestic violence. Court finds probable cause. Defendant does qualify for direct PTR, correct PTR?
He does, Your Honor.
Court's going to grant it with the conditions of no contact, no return, except one time with law enforcement for personal effects. All right. Thank you.
Here.
Good afternoon. State your name and date of birth for the record.
Terry Jackson, 0621, 1994.
Ms. Jackson, you were picked up on battery, domestic violence. Court finds probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR.
She does, Your Honor.
She does?
She does.
Okay, I didn't have that. Maybe I did. Okay. Direct PTR counts, PTR? Or
Yes,
PTR with a bond?
Direct PTR.
All right, court's gonna grant the direct PTR with the condition of no contact, no return, except one time with law enforcement. Good afternoon, sir. State your name and date of birth for the record.
Javon Moore.
Speak up.
Javon Moore.
Sir, you're picked up on battery, dating violence. Court finds probable cause. Defendant does qualify for direct PTR, correct PTR?
He does, Your Honor.
Court's gonna grant, I'm sorry. Court's gonna grant it. Victim wants to speak.
Hi, Alana Grant.
I can't hear you.
Can you speak into the mic?
What was the question?
Can you give me your name and date of birth, please?
Alana Grant, 0610-2004.
And what's your relationship to Mr. Moore?
My boyfriend.
Are you seeking to have contact with him?
Yes.
Are you scared of him?
No.
And has anything like this ever happened before?
No.
Do you live with him?
No.
Okay. No further questions. State would just request a no hostile contact and maintain separate residence.
All right, so ordered. Non-hostile, maintain separate residences. And I believe he is the right PTR.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
I do have a PC argument for this case, Your Honor.
And state your name and date of birth for the record, sir.
Ralph Henry Oliver, April 26, 1967.
Sir, you've been charged with assault. Counsel, you have an argument on the charge?
Yes, in regards to the assault charge, Your Honor, nowhere in the affidavit does it mention that she was in fear, because based on a statute, it has to create a well-founded fear of violence, that the violence was imminent, and I don't see that in the affidavit, Your Honor.
State.
Yes, Your Honor. He threw a bottle at her and 911 was called. We'd asked that it be inferred that she was afraid because of the need of law enforcement to arrive.
Did she call law enforcement, counsel?
I thought she did. Got into an altercation. Contact.
Yeah, it was, then Schneider then told Oliver she was calling the police.
Yeah, and yeah.
Okay. Court's gonna find probable cause. Court will infer that victim stated to defendant that she was gonna call the police and the police showed up. Court's gonna grant the direct PTR with the condition of no contact, no return. Well, this is an assault. Court will be open to non-hostile state. What's your position on that?
Since the victim's not here, we would ask that a no contact and no return be issued. And if defense and the victim want it changed at a later date, that can be done.
Any objection, counsel?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, no contact, no return, except one time with law enforcement. To file a motion to change that. All right, thank you. Good afternoon, state your name and date of birth for the record.
How you doing? Marquise Thurman, 1502.
Sir, you were picked up on battery, touch, or strike. I believe the defendant does not qualify for PTR, correct PTR?
He does qualify.
Direct?
Yes.
I must have missed all of these.
Appreciate it.
Court's gonna grant the direct PTR with the conditions of, I'm sorry. Where's the victim? Oh, I always miss the victim.
Good morning. Can you tell me your name and your relationship to Mr. Thurman?
Sabriya Abdusalam. Sabriya Abdusalam. He's my boyfriend.
Are you wishing to have contact with him?
Yes.
Are you afraid of him?
No.
Do you live with him?
Yes.
And has anything ever happened like this in the past?
No.
All right, no further questions from the state.
Court's gonna grant direct PTR with non-hostile contact. All right.
One moment, please, Your Honor.
He's going to be released. He's not going to have to post bond, and you're allowed to have no hostile contact with him.
Good afternoon, state your name and date of birth for the record, ma'am.
Diana Atkins, January 18, 2000.
Ma'am, you were picked up on battery on a law enforcement officer and resisting an officer with violence? With, I said without. Court finds probable cause. Hold on, let me Let me look at that, because I thought that said without.
Am I flight leave today?
On the first, defendant does not qualify for PTR, correct, PTR?
That is correct, Your Honor.
On the first charge, court's gonna, issue a bond of $2,500.
1 second.
And $1,000 on the second.
Your Honor,
Counsel?
in regards to this case, do you have any objection to RRR in her in regards to this case? Based on information that I have in front of me, she doesn't have any Florida criminal history or affairs to appear, so we're asking that you RRR her.
State?
The state would object. She has similar charges in the past. She has actual out-of-state convictions for resisting, and she's from New Jersey and does intend to return there. So the state would request that she be issued a bond to ensure her return to court.
Your Honor, she also just informed me as well that she does have a flight to catch in New Jersey, and she has a job.
Yeah, I work at New Jersey, I'm sorry, Essex County Corrections. I work at a jail. It was no intent for me to come to Florida. I just came here yesterday to put my hands on an officer or battery. I've tried to break up, my sister bonded out yesterday.
Don't you still talk about the facts?
Oh, I'm sorry. But yeah, I had no intentions to get arrested. I tried to break up a fight yesterday with my sister, and they said that I tried to stop the arrest. But I work at a jail, so, and my flight leaves at 6:45 today. So I had no intentions to get arrested or anything like that.
State, you said she has prior?
Yes, Your Honor. She has an out-of-state conviction for resisting arrest and eluding a police officer out of New Jersey, as well as ag assault on a Leo ×2, trespasses, resisting, again, eluding, and simple assault, obstructing the administration of a law enforcement officer, assault on a law enforcement officer, throwing bodily fluid at a law enforcement officer.
These all were juvenile offenses, Your Honor, if I may say.
Some of them.
It was PTI.
The simple assault, obstructing Leo, assault on Leo, throwing bodily fluid at a Leo, terroristic threats and criminal damage to property as well as harassment don't indicate that they were juvenile. Her questionnaire also indicates that as of 3 weeks ago, she was unemployed.
So you realize if the court decides to RR you, if you don't show up to this hearing, I'm gonna issue a warrant, right?
Yeah.
The court will issue a warrant whether it's me or another judge. You realize that?
Yes, and how do I hire, they said I have to hire an attorney, I think, because I'm in New Jersey, and they said that if I hire someone, I could do
No,
it virtually.
I can't discuss any of that with you. Your attorney can talk with you about what you need, but I'm saying that if you don't come,
Right,
there's gonna be a warrant out for your arrest. Do
Yes.
you understand that?
yes, I know.
Counsel, you're requesting ROR?
Yes, Your Honor, in regards to both counts.
Court's gonna grant the ROR this time.
Thank you.
Call this number, they'll let you know the attorney signed to your case. Call that number, they'll let you know the attorney signed to your case. This number.
Oh, that's not the one I have. State your name and date of birth for the record.
Nicholas Brown.
All right, do we have somebody bond Jessica Blandon?
What's the inmate number, Your Honor?
2301-3752.
Yes, she bought.
Sir, you were picked up on possession of cocaine. Court finds probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR.
No, Your Honor.
Bond will be set at $1,000 with the conditions of no drugs. All right. Thank you. State your name and date of birth for the record. Good afternoon.
Yes, hi, Roxana Castro.
I do have a PC argument for count one, Your Honor.
Date of birth, ma'am?
Is August 19, 1980?
Counsel, your argument?
Yes, in regards to count one, a possession of cocaine with intent, I guess, to sell. In regards to my argument, based on the statute that I read, nowhere in the affidavit that it said that she was intending to sell, deliver, or possess the drugs with the intent to sell within 1,000 feet of a church or the business.
State.
He has no objection to that charge being ROR.
All right.
She'll get bonds on the other ones, so.
Okay. Well, R on the first one.
Yes, Your Honor.
On the second count, court finds probable cause. Bond will be set at $1,000 for count two, $1,000 for count three, $250 for count four, $250 for count five. Condition, no drugs.
So you're able to bond.
All right. State your name and date of birth for the record. Good afternoon, sir.
My name is Eric Chapman. Date of birth is 5/31/1979.
Sir, you were picked up on possession of cocaine. Court finds probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR, correct, PTR?
He does not, Your Honor.
Court will set bond at $1,000 with the condition of no drugs. All right, thank you, sir.
This is yours.
Good afternoon. State your name and date of birth for the record.
For the record, I'm Christian Joseph,
And your date of birth, sir?
January 19, 1992.
Sir, you were picked up on carrying a concealed firearm, possession of fentanyl, and possession of firearm in the commission of a felony. Defense, I guess I had full expectation that you had an argument.
Is it in regards to the third count, Your Honor?
Is it?
One moment. So in regards to the third count, possession of firearm, commission of a felony, it's not listed in the affidavit in regards to what specific felony that they're charging him with for the firearm and commission of a felony for that count.
State. You can look at it for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, hold on just a second. There's a lot going on here.
It's kind of a lot.
You don't qualify.
It would be the state's position that the possession of fentanyl meets the requirement of a felony. The state would argue that the carrying of concealed firearm with the possession of fentanyl should meet the requirements of possession of firearm and a commission of a felony, and that the firearm was found concealed in the vehicle.
Defense?
Your Honor, I believe, in reading the statute's like in commission of an actual felony, not something like a concealed carry or possession of fentanyl. To me, that doesn't meet the standards of in commission of a felony.
Did not claim. There's apparently a supplemental report. If the court doesn't find probable cause on the third charge, the state would just request a bond on the first two and a requirement of no possession of firearms and no drugs while out on bond.
State, would you like 24 hours on the third, or are you fine with the RR?
I'm fine with the RR. He'll have a bond, and if we decide to charge it later, it'll be no issue.
All right. So the RR on the third count, as the court doesn't find probable cause as of yet, right now. Bond on the first count will be $1,000, $1,000 on the second count. Defendant does not qualify for PTR. No drugs, no weapons, no firearms.
Your Honor, in regards to the first two counts, I understand you just said a bond, but the client would like to know whether or not you are willing to consider RR in regards to count one and count two.
State?
State would object. He has a history of drug convictions and should not have had a firearm to begin with. He's a convicted felon.
So it'll be as the court has stated. Thank you.
I don't have that information, it just says your last conviction, but I can't tell if you're, I don't have that information.
Is he not?
I don't have any information saying that he's a felon. I know possession of alone is a felony, and they're saying on here it's a conviction, but there's no, I don't have an indication whether or not he's a felon. He says he's not a felon, so I have no
He's
indication.
not charged with felon in possession of a firearm. State just objects to ROR based off of his history.
I guess he's saying that he's not a convicted felon. Do you have information to say otherwise, State?
No, but I can pull up his.
Gonna check and see?
Maybe PTR can help with this. I just have the open case for Florida, so I don't know if that's an out-of-state convictions. It does says he has Florida convictions for cannabis, utilone, trespass, and trespass. Maybe it was an error.
PTR?
It does show that he has a conviction for possession of Utilon, which is a felony, Your Honor. So I don't know what a convicted felon is, so I couldn't help you with that.
I'm not sure if the charge came in as a possession of alone. He probably pled to a lesser included. It could be that, but he has no indication that he's a convicted felon. As of now, we have no indication that he's a convicted felon. He still stands on, can he get RR in regards to count 1 and count 2, Your Honor?
So I'm not gonna RR, however, do you have an objection to court reducing some of the bond?
No objection, Your Honor.
What's the mic for the board?
Sorry.
100 on the same.
Oh, yes, thank you for telling me. What did I?
Somebody.
Because if you can pay 10%.
Well, we'll reduce the bond in count 1 to $500 and $500 in count 2. All right, thank you.
Your Honor, Jack Clark refused.
Bonded?
He refused.
Oh,
Defense has no objection to waiving his appearance, Your Honor.
so, Mr. Clark was picked up on possession of cocaine, possession of drug paraphernalia, and resisting officer without violence. Court finds probable cause. Defendant is not qualified for PTR. On the first count, that's correct, right, PTR?
Correct.
First count will be $1,000, second count $250, third count $250, for the condition of no drugs.
And Hector Epiticio, bonded.
So this,
Hiram Fordhams, he's mental health.
are we resetting that until he's available?
One moment, please, Your Honor. In regards to Fordham's case, we can waive his appearance. Defense would just ask that you take no action on the auto bond case.
All right. On this case, Mr. Fordham was picked up on petty theft, two or more prior convictions. Court finds probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR due to prior legal constraints. Court will set bond at $1,000 with a condition of no return. Court will state, do you have an objection to the court taking, well,
No, he has several different things keeping him, so no objection, taking no action.
no action on the prior?
Your Honor, he also has 2 other cases.
Oh, I'm sorry, I have it written here, I didn't. Also, he has 2 failures to appear, I think in case number 2023-00197716. It's $500 for each count.
And I believe he also has 1 more petty theft.
I think, let me find it first. Is it a warrant, counsel?
Yes. They both end in similar numbers, 6576 and 6575.
Okay, this is 6576. Defendant was picked up on petty theft, 2 or more prior convictions. I think this was a warrant anyway.
Yes.
Bond is $1,000. All right. I think that's it.
With the condition of no return for both warrants?
Yes.
Thank you. And keep the condition as no contact, that's also listed on the warrants.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. State your name and date of birth for the record.
Kelvin Levon Holloman, 2/23/1983.
Sir, you were picked up on possession of methamphetamine or MDMA, ecstasy. Court finds probable cause. I believe the defendant does not qualify for PTR.
He does not.
Court will set bond at $1,000 with the condition of no drugs.
He does have a second case, Your Honor.
Thank you for telling me. Sir, your second case ending in 010112AO is also for possession of methamphetamine. Finds probable cause on that one as well. Defendant does not qualify for PTR. Bond in that case will be $1,000.
Your Honor, I think that's a capias. Unless I'm mistaken.
On this case, counsel?
Yes. The information I have is it's a capias.
Came in at a no bond.
Unless you're changing it from no bond to 1,000.
No, I looked at it wrong.
No problem.
No, I just looked at it. I didn't see it. I think I saw 1,000 on the first page, and my eyes told me I saw 1,000 on this page that I'm looking at too. No bond. And I looked at the warrant, and I still didn't see it. Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
Adrian Holst's behavior.
Defense has no objection to waiving his appearance.
All right. Mr. Holst was picked up on criminal mischief. Court finds probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR.
He does not, Your Honor.
All right. Bond will be set at that's a lot.
What was the reason?
Behavior. Bond will be set at $1,000 with the condition of no return. Good afternoon. State your name and date of birth for the record.
Nora Hurst, November 26, 1970.
Ma'am, you were picked up on petty theft with 2 or more prior convictions. Court finds probable cause.
Yes.
Defendant does not qualify for PTR.
She does not.
Court will set bond at $3,500 with the condition of no return.
Your Honor, in regards to this case, do you have any objection to reducing the bond? I'm not too sure why it was set so high.
I think it was set high because of the prior conviction state.
Yes, Your Honor. I believe it was due to her history.
The last conviction I see for a petty theft is in 2009. Do you have any objection to lowering the bond, Your Honor?
I think I see theft convictions, 2023 MM 175 1000, 2021 MM 0449,000,
I don't have that.
and 2020 MM 83730. State, do you have something different than those or PTR?
I don't have those, but looking at the items that Ms. Hurst took and being able to empathize, having a headache, state has no objection to reducing her bonds. We just ask that she not be ROR'd.
Defense, what do you have in mind?
One moment, please, Your Honor. Your Honor, $1,000?
In total?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I was thinking about the other cases, yes?
Yes.
Any objection, state?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, the bond will be $1,000, no return. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Shannon Johnson is medical.
Defense has no objection to waiving her appearance, as long as you take no action on, can you please take no action on the out of bond case? No information has been filed yet in that case.
Defendant was picked up on possession of methamphetamine, ecstasy, and court finds probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR due to prior legal constraints. bond is $1,000 with the condition of no drugs. State your position on court taking no action on the prior.
State has no objection.
All right, court will take no action on the prior. Good afternoon. State your name and date of birth for the record.
Ricky Lee Mayorano, 8/31/81.
Ma'am, you were picked up on possession of cocaine. Court finds probable cause. Defendant does qualify for direct PTR?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Court's gonna grant it with the condition of no drugs. All right, thank you.
Your Honor, I apologize. One moment, please. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good afternoon. State your name and date of birth for the record.
J. Monique Mitchum, August 9th, 1990.
Ms. Mitchum, you were picked up on aggravated battery with a firearm, aggravated assault with a firearm, discharging a firearm in public, and improper exhibition of a weapon or firearm. Court finds probable cause. State, I have a question on charge 1. Is it an attempt or should have been an attempt? Says aggravated battery with a firearm.
Yeah, Your Honor, the way I read it would be that if she pressed the handgun to his head, that could.
And that's what they're
battery.
considering the battery?
Yes, Your Honor.
Offense?
Same thing, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Court finds probable cause. Court's gonna set defendant does not qualify for PTR.
Does not, yes, Your Honor.
All right. Bond in the first case. It's gonna be $10,000. Second case, $2,500. Third, $500, and then the fourth, gonna reduce to $250. No contact. The condition. I think they were out. No contact.
We have a no weapons or firearms as well.
No weapons, no firearms. If I ever miss it, counsel, make sure you tell me. That's what I want. Thank you. Your Honor.
Yes.
I hope you remember the one I told you to remember. I forgot it, just that quick.
I have it pulled.
Good afternoon. State your name and date of birth.
LaQuantis Richardson, 04/18/1991.
Okay. Did Letty Alexandra Piera Fasundo bond out?
What's the inmate number, Your Honor?
2301-3753.
Yes, she bonded.
Sir, you were picked up on possession of a controlled substance and possession of drug paraphernalia. Court finds probable cause. Defendant does qualify for PTR.
Yes, Your Honor.
Court's gonna grant the PTR with a condition of no drugs. Thank you.
James Shorter bonded,
Thank you.
and also Tyreek Walker bonded.
Good afternoon, sir. State your name and date of birth for the record.
Right, we're not aware.
What was it?
Right, we're not aware.
Defense has a PC argument in regards to count 2, Your Honor.
All right. State your date of birth, sir.
8/2/1974.
Sir, you were picked up on possession of cocaine, loitering for an unlawful purpose, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Counsel, your argument for count 2.
In regards to count 2, narrowing the affidavit, did the officer state that they seen client engage or stopping or going into vehicles or speaking with anyone? There was no reason to stop, I believe, client in the first place other than wearing the item of clothing that he was wearing at the time. No mention that any body parts were showing and so forth, Your Honor.
State.
Yes, Your Honor. The officer said that it was a particular, he clarified it was short skirt, and that the Accused was walking up and down OBT in an area known for solicitation for prostitution. So that would give him reasonable suspicion. However, the state has no objection to ROR for the loitering. I don't believe the affidavit is clear enough to get
All right.
loitering.
Court will ROR on the second charge. Does not qualify for PTR due to prior legal constraints, I believe.
That's correct. Your Honor.
For the first count, possession of cocaine will be $1,000, and it'll be $250 on the third count, as the second count was RR, with the condition of no drugs.
And defense will ask that you take no action in the auto bond case, Your Honor.
Stay looking at it.
No information has been filed yet in that case, and it was back in March.
No objection to that.
No action on the prior.
Stay safe, Mr. Ware.
All right, state your name and date of birth for the record, sir.
Deontay Anderson, September 7, 2000.
Sir, you were picked up on no motor vehicle registration and traffic violation, a moving violation, failure to have the required endorsement on your driver's license. Court finds probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR.
Correct, Your Honor.
Court will set bond on the first count and $500 and $500 for the second count with the condition of no driving without a valid driver's license. Actually, without the required endorsement on your driver's license, or a valid driver's license should cover that as well. And no driving without proper vehicle registration and or any other required paperwork. Court's gonna take no action on the prior, as is unrelated.
Your Honor, he's stating that his license is valid. I guess there's just no valid license for the, whatever that was, for the dirt bike, but he does have a valid license.
I think you're supposed to have a designation. They're
Okay.
counting it like a motorcycle, correct?
Yes, Your Honor. He would need a valid motorcycle license, which is a
Okay.
separate
I
card.
mean, I think if you're driving it recreationally in the woods or in some dirt area, if it's really like you may not need it for that, but if it's something you're driving down the street, you're gonna need that. So just the registration if you're gonna drive it, and no driving until you get that handled. Do you understand that, sir?
Just as a friend of the court, there are special endorsements and there are special light requirements that the bike needs to have. And the state would also request that you please be careful and wear a helmet.
He could drive over the vehicle.
Such a mommy.
Monique Chambers bonded.
Thank you.
Fred Chester also bonded.
You. Any other bonds you got? Oh, maybe I got too excited. Good afternoon, sir. State your name and date of birth for the record.
Renell Graham, July 22nd, 1987.
Sir, you were picked up on driving while under the influence, alcohol or some substance, driving with license suspended or revoked. Court finds probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for pretrial release.
He does not, Your Honor.
Court will set bond, $500 for the DUI and $100 for driving while the license is suspended or revoked, with the conditions of no alcohol and no driving without a valid driver's license. Thank you. Good afternoon, sir. State your name and date of birth for the record.
Travis Green.
I have a PC argument for this case, Your Honor.
Sir, you were picked up on no valid driver's license. Counsel, your argument.
My argument for PC is I don't see the reason for the stop. There's no mention in the affidavit of what he violated as for the reason for the stop, Your Honor.
State.
Yeah, it says that he advised him for the reason, but it's not listed in the report. He doesn't have any open cases he's being held on. He's already spent a night in jail, so no objection to him being released ROR as long as he knows to return for his next court date.
Any Any, thing else to add defense to that?
No, Your Honor. It just, there's no mention of what was the violation, what he was stopped for. So I don't see no probable cause for him to be pulled over.
Court will RR on the stop. I mean, I'll let the trial judge decide that, whether the stop was valid, pretextual, or whatever it possibly could have been. No driving without a valid driver's license. All right.
Your Honor, I apologize. He does have a quick question. One moment.
We're gonna take a 2-minute recess.
Okay.
Good afternoon, sir. State your name and date of birth for the record.
Jermaine Jackson, 6385.
Famous name. Sir, you were picked up on driving while license is suspended or revoked. Court finds probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR.
Does not.
Bond will be set at $500 with a condition of no driving without a valid driver's license.
So what?
Mr.
There's a VOP, Your Honor.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I got Westboro down here.
Oh, I see it. This is that one that had an error. No, that's not updated court location. Sir, you also have a violation of probation in the case number ending, in the case number 1910394, and it's no bond.
Okay, is that down here?
It is,
I do see they're both in Broward County. I think he's indicating on what the violations were for. I don't have that information. Do you have that information as to what the 2 violations are for, Your Honor?
I can look.
I have a license, it's just I gotta go get them Tuesday.
I don't have the information about the violation.
Yeah, he put me over for no reason at all, talking about my car just showing off attention.
We can hear him.
Oh,
You're good. I just don't want you to incriminate yourself.
The VOP, I know VOP for marijuana, cocaine, and it looks like some kind of gun, weapons. I don't know if. Hold on. It looks like they just may be I don't know. All right, you're gonna have to talk with your attorney about it. I don't have it in front of me, what the VOP is for.
I'll put a note in.
Okay.
The attorney reach out to you for the.
You called both VOPs, Your Honor? I'm sorry.
No, I think I called one, or did I? Hold on. I called one. I see the other one. There's no bond on both. Thank you. Good afternoon, sir. State your name and date of birth for the record.
Stephen Mandravar, September 13, 1990.
Sir, you were picked up on a hit and run, leaving the scene of a crash involving damage to property and a DUI.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, he already posted bond. Stephen Menjivar? Yes, he's bonded.
And what's your name? Oh, somebody, okay.
You could, you're gonna.
Is that your name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Menjivar?
Someone posted your bond.
Somebody posted bond for you.
You out.
Good afternoon, sir. State your name and date of birth for the record.
Wendell Moss. 9/12/73.
Sir, you were picked up on DUI with property damage.
Yes.
Court finds probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR.
No, Your Honor.
Court will set bond in the amount of $1,000 with the condition of no alcohol. No driving while intoxicated. Thank you. Good afternoon, sir. State your name and date of birth for the record.
Jaquez Patterson, 04/12/1997.
Sir, you were picked up on a failure to appear. Let's see what case that was in, and I think it's 2022 CT 0000805. Nope. Maybe it was. I think that's the case. AE. And the bond is $2,000. All right.
One moment, please, Your Honor.
Let's see who issued that. Yeah.
Your Honor, is there anywhere on the warrant, does it say that you can change the monetary bond listed on there?
I'm looking. No.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah. If you have 200, you need to be released.
One moment.
Good afternoon. State your name and date of birth for the record.
Sonia Porter, 11378.
Ms. Porter, you were picked up on driving while license is suspended or revoked and no motor vehicle registration. Court finds probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR.
No, Your Honor.
Court will set bond on the first count and $500 and $100 for the second count with conditions of no driving while without a valid driver's license and without a valid registration, vehicle registration.
She also has a second case, Your Honor.
Why do I keep missing the second? Also, in case number 2021 CT 006635AO, you were picked up on failure to appear. There's a bond of $150. Let me make sure that's correct in that case.
One moment, please, Your Honor. She also has a question.
You sure that's 150? Because we just had this exact one in the very last case. Same. Okay.
Your Honor, in regards to the bonds that I understand you can't change the $150 bond, but in regards to the $600 bond that you set, do you have any objection to RRing her in regards to this case? Because the person that was in front of us is her son, Mr. Patterson, that was also in the vehicle, and she has to post his monetary bond as well as her bond. So do you have any objection to RRing her in regards to the $600 bond that you said for her case?
How much was this one?
600.
The one right before it.
Oh, 2,000. It was a KPA, so it can't be changed.
Her bonds are already pretty low. While I appreciate that she's gonna help her son out, he's a grown man, and he didn't appear for his court date. So
There's a reason, ma'am. Sorry.
if the court wants to lower the bond, that's fine, but the state thinks it's already at appropriate amounts.
Defense will also argue that she doesn't have any failure to appears. I only see one misdemeanor conviction back in 2013. So as to her cases, I think it'll be appropriate to RR her in regards to the $600 that was set, Your Honor.
Well, she does have a failure to appear. That's where the 150 is coming from.
Oh, sorry, no, aside from this failure to appear, I don't see any history. Sorry, I was looking at this form with 0 FTAs, but she only has one. But she has something to say in regards to the failure to appear, Your Honor.
I had COVID. They gave me this 3 times in Orange County. I got the papers right there in the car, ma'am.
and they thought I was sick. They told me to come back. They was gonna mail it. They never received it. My son that's already go, he don't do no trouble. He helps me with my mama who's 81 years old that I can't really lift and move around. And that's it. He don't give me no, he is better than I ever was. I ain't knocking that, but I just really trying to get up out of here. And he never drove. The police just took him out the back seat. He was never lied.
You're saying he wasn't driving?
No, ma'am. We went to jail together. He was in the back seat.
He was in the back seat.
He was in the back seat.
Which one was that?
Patterson.
He was in the back seat. He told the police, I'm not gonna ever drive. I'm trying to straighten it out, but we have another death in the family, and we're going to the airport.
What's the name?
Jaquez Patterson.
Patterson, he wasn't picked up for driving. He was picked up on failing to appear.
Yeah, he was in the back seat of my car. I don't feel like crap because he was helping me.
What did I say?
It was a KPA, so you couldn't change it. It was $2,000 for failure to appear on his case. We just want you to RR her in regards to her case. Yes.
Yeah, I just feel like.
And how old is he?
My
Old
son
enough
is,
to pay his own bond.
he's 25 years old, ma'am. He don't give me any problems, and he helped me with these bills right here and my mother.
He also
My
has
son
no
don't
criminal
stop
history.
drugs. I'm sorry.
He also has no criminal history, Your Honor. So only, aside from this failure to appear, he has no other criminal history.
Court's gonna grant the RR this time.
Thank you, ma'am. You could leave me.
Need to get a valid driver's license.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I just want him out. I feel like, thank you.
Although counsel is right.
Tanya Pager, bonded. I'm sorry, Tanya Rager, bonded.
What's her full last name?
Erica Alfaro, she refused.
Defense has no objection to waiving her appearance. The defense is asking that you take no action in regards to her add-on bond case. No information has been filed in that case yet.
No objection from the state.
Court won't take any action. However, defense, do you realize all the ones you want the court not to take any action on are like the same exact charges?
You know,
They're here on petty theft and they're out on petty theft, but you want the court to take no action on it, like they're different. So I can see it when it's totally unrelated, just a coincidence, but it seems like a little bit of a pattern. They're here for petty theft. They were out on petty theft. Another case of petty theft.
just in case, by the grace, no information is charged or they dismiss the case, then,
I'm just heckling.
Okay.
I'm heckling on purpose.
Your Honor, you left the bond as is? Okay.
I haven't even started on it. She was picked up on petty theft. $100 or more, court finds probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR due to prior legal constraints. Bond will be $250 with the condition of no return. Court will take no action on the prior, although the court was going to revoke and reissue.
Thank you.
Ricardo Chang is medical.
Defense has no objection to waiving his appearance. Defense will ask that you take no action in the add-on bond because notices of incompetency were filed on one of the felony cases.
State.
State has no objection. Mr. Chang does have history, but it appears these cases are ongoing due to mental health issues.
Okay. All right. He was picked up on petty theft and resisting officer without violence. Court's gonna find probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR due to prior legal constraints. Bond and a petty theft was $500 and $100 in the second charge. No return. Although, is he gonna be able to post it? I guess.
Rashard Fisher refused.
Defense has no objection to waiving his appearance. Defense would just ask that you take no action in regards to the add-on bond case, although information was filed in that case. My argument to take no action is the new law violation. The petty theft is $48, and it sounds like necessities, Your Honor.
He's set for trial in like 2 weeks on the out on bond case. So
Okay.
no objection.
All right, thank you. Defendant was picked up on petty theft. Court finds probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR. Bond will be $250 with condition of no return. Court will take no action on the prior.
Perry Letson also refused.
All right. Are you waiving appearance, counsel?
Can we reset his case for tomorrow, Your Honor? There's I believe, a credit time served offer to resolve his case.
Reset?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, sir. State your name and date of birth for the record.
Freddie Brown. 320-2000.
Okay, I can't hear anything you're saying. You got to speak at a normal volume. You need to speak at a normal volume.
Freddie Brown.
All right. Mr. Brown, you were picked up on violation of probation, 2 counts. And there's a bond set. It was $500, but I think they're being consolidated to be a blanket $500 bond for both. I'm sorry. Cash bond, yep. All right, thank you. Good afternoon, sir. State your name and date of birth for the record.
Armani Dexter, March 14, 2003.
Mr. Dexter, you were picked up on an out-of-county warrant, 2 counts, no bond.
What's the question?
Make sure I got it all.
Your Honor.
And
They're saying I'm 22 and
am I missing, or, hold on, am I missing 2 other charges, or are these just copies? Okay.
Your Honor, he does have a question. I don't have the out-of-county warrant in front of me. He's stating that it's not the correct information on the out-of-county warrant, and it's someone else and not him. But I don't have the information on the out-of-county warrant, Your Honor.
yes, it's saying that that's not the correct social on the warrant. When I spoke with the lawyer, it's not the correct social nor my age. It says I'm 22 and I'm 20. I was born March 14, 2003.
On the teletype, Your Honor, it does has his exact name and the exact date of birth.
I mean,
State, what's your position on that the warrant is incorrect?
The
Scrivener's error likely.
Yeah, it's likely a Scrivener's error, and I have absolutely no jurisdiction to deal with another county's warrant.
and the last 2 of my social is 031003.
What is your, hold on, let me look at it real quick. What's your birthday? The real one.
March 14, 2003.
Okay. And it's right on the, as PTR was saying, it's right on the teletype. It's just wrong. I don't know if it's wrong on the warrant. Hold on. No, not on the warrant. It's right too. And you have a driver's license?
No,
What's your address?
the one that they put on the warrant, 151 Northeast 26th Avenue,
That's not what I have on the warrant.
131 Ocean Breeze Circle. That's the address
So,
that's on my ID,
yeah,
ma'am.
this is out of Broward County. This is an out-of-county warrant.
Yeah, I understand.
They'll extradite you, and then definitely bring it up with them. If it's mistaken identity, then you need to bring it up with them.
But
Okay.
so far it is. I just want to,
I haven't seen that it is, but I'm saying if you have an argument, then bring it before the judge. All right. Thank you. Sir, state your name and date of birth for the record.
Asal Javed, date of birth, November the 1st, 1978.
Sir, you were picked up on an out-of-county warrant, no bond. All right. Make sure I got, is there another case? Because I keep forgetting it. That's it. All right.
One moment, please, Your Honor. I apologize.
Still better than it was yesterday. Light years.
That's all. Mhm. That's all. Yeah.
Lord. Give them to me early.
Smiling thing.
I don't know where to sign, 'cause I don't speak. All right, sir, state your name and date of birth for the record.
Malcolm Peoples, 10186.
I'm sorry, what was it?
Malcolm Peoples,
Oh, Malcolm People.
October 1st, 1986.
Sir, you're picked up on a violation of probation out of county. There'll be no bond. Thank you.
Logan Williams is outside medical.
Are you waiving his appearance?
If you temporarily appoint me for this case, Your Honor, I can waive his appearance.
I'm gonna temporarily appoint the public defender.
Thank you. No, I can waive. No objection to waiving.
So Mr. Williams was picked up on out-of-county warrant. I believe there's a bond set for $3,500. You can either pay it or you can let them know that he's ready for pickup.
Thank you.
Chaz Jackson is medical.
Are you appointed in that case, counsel?
Yes, I should be, Your Honor. Defense has no objection to waiving his appearance.
All right. Medical.
I think they said outside medical.
Outside medical? Okay. Mr. Jackson was picked up on possession of cocaine, possession of drug paraphernalia, and resisting officer without violence. Court finds probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR. Bond in the first count will be $1,000. Second count will be $250. Third will be $250 with a condition of no drugs.
There's a violation of probation.
On the VLP, no bond. Good afternoon. State your name and date of birth for the record.
Hello, Your Honor. My name is Marvik Yah Asha. I was born on November 19th, 1999.
Sir, you were picked up on disorderly conduct.
Yes, ma'am.
Court finds probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR. Defense.
Defense will ask that you take no action in regard to the Audon Bond case. He is represented by private counsel, Ms. Jessica Travis, in regards to that case.
State.
If he's given bond in this case, we have no objection to that.
And no information has been filed in that case.
Okay. Bond in this case will be $250. No return, no contact, no action on the prior.
You can bond out.
Good afternoon, sir. State your name and date of birth for the record.
Dennis Graves, 5/26/66.
Said Dennis Graves.
Ma'am.
That might need to be fixed. It's like a struggle. Sir, you were picked up on possession and consumption of alcohol prohibited in public and disorderly conduct. Court finds probable cause. Defendant does not qualify for PTR. Bond will be set at $500 for the,
One moment, please, Your Honor. Your Honor, he does have an offer to resolve this case, and he would like to resolve the case, Your Honor.
okay.
Can I go over the plea form with him?
Thank you for moving them.
Honor, in regards to this case, he'll be entering a no contest plea. In regards to the disorderly conduct and the possession and consumption of alcohol prohibiting in a public place, the agreed upon disposition is adjudication of guilt, 7 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days. So he'll be serving 5 days in the Orange County Jail and no return to the scene, Your Honor.
So ordered. And court costs?
Your Honor, one moment, please. Because of his transient status, Your Honor, defense will be asking that it's placed as a civil lien.
State.
No objection.
So ordered. Thank you. Do I need to say something about his plea?
Say it again?
You stated his plea. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right.
Sonny Jackson bonded. And Michael Walker also bonded.
We are done.
Oh, I'm so sorry,
You
Your Honor.
wanted to,
I'm so sorry. I just got word from downstairs in my department that a Carlos Ruiz out of the felony section didn't qualify for pretrial release because he had an open NTA case, but that's at your discretion, Your Honor. If you want to strike the PTR or leave it.
State. Let me see. You had an open what kind of case?
An open
Failure to
notice
appear?
to appear, a 2005 case, Your Honor.
Well, they usually issue notice to appear if they don't have any criminal history, so instead of arresting him. So my argument would be to keep the PTR intact.
State has no objection to keeping PTR. I don't think there's a need to readdress it. It's,
Okay.
sounds like it just got forgotten about more than.
All right, it'll remain as stands. Thank you.
Then, Your Honor, you wanted to talk about
Yeah.